Welcome to ENTREPRENEURFest, a celebration of the entrepreneurial spirit presented by LATINAFest and the Amazon Prime documentary, All In, The Fight for Democracy.
We have an exciting day planned with special guest speakers, including an Oscar-nominated producer-director, spoken word artist, Angeli Rodriguez de Orbe, powerful entrepreneurs, and special surprise guest appearances.
We will be your hosts, Bel Hernandez and Naive Reynoso. As co-founders of LATINAFest, which is an event that we have been producing since 2018, we encountered a dynamic group of entrepreneurs at our annual event attended by thousands. Let's take a look at our first LATINAFest.
Totaling over 28 million in the U.S. alone, Latina women are becoming social and economic powerhouses. And the first annual LATINAFest, held at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes in downtown Los Angeles, was a clear reflection of that.
80 vendors here, like 99% of them are women. And so they don't realize the power that we have. And this is a way to inform them and to inform others.
An estimated 2,000 attendees enjoyed the day's festivities, which included a celebrity panel and inspiring performances, but also provided a platform for many Latinas to showcase their businesses.
Well, we have everything. We have people that have party supply companies, we have food vendors, we have people that are in education, we have people that are in mental health and want to distribute information about mental health, we have people that are launching their clothing lines here. So there's a little bit of everything, and that just goes to show you how diverse the Latina community is.
I'm really excited to be here because it's LATINAFest and these candles celebrate being a Latina, so it's a great combo.
It was also empowering.
It's so nice to work with all these strong women who have these businesses, and I see them go out and get it, and it just really inspires me.
More women need to really put themselves out there, give the exposure that they need to have, because we are powerhouses as a community of women empowering other women, because I really truly believe that helping each other is the way to go. So just being exposed around all these other powerful women, I think is amazing.
I think this should go just different cities, different counties, different areas, hopefully all across the world.
I'm launching here. And this is my very first event. Yes, and the fact that these amazing ladies put this event together for all these Latina entrepreneurs, for us to showcase our businesses and grow and work together here, networking, meeting other women, seeing how we could collaborate and grow together is amazing.
Events like this, we get examples of strong Latinas, we get examples of how to succeed, we get a roadmap of the possibilities that are out there. So as vendors out here, it's definitely eye-opening, it's definitely motivating and inspiring.
The festival's Latino twist gave new generations renewed pride in their culture.
And all the cultures, Colombian, Puerto Rican, Mexicana, everything coming together has been the one thing I've always wanted, being a Latina entrepreneur.
Para todas nosotras y para nosotros es una manera de darnos a conocer al mundo y que somos una voz más aquí en los Estados Unidos también.
The morning yoga session and the Zen Zone was part of the event's mind, body, and soul component.
This is not just for millennials. This is not just for mommies. This is not just for business women. It's for all of us. I think all of us as a group have to support and have to realize our power, that together we're stronger.
Instilling pride in their culture for future generations and providing a platform for networking and encouragement for all Latinas to achieve personal and professional success.
And now we have the pleasure of introducing our MC for the day, KBC7 journalist, Anabel Munoz.
Hi ladies, Annabelle Munoz here with ABC7, and it is so exciting for us to be with you on this special day. As you know, LATINAFest helps develop, nurture, and empower Latina-owned businesses here in Los Angeles and around the country. And ENTREPRENEURFest is sponsored by LATINAFest and the Amazon Prime film, All In, The Fight for Democracy. This is to provide a virtual space for vendors to not only sell and showcase their unique products, but also learn business strategies and about resources available through entrepreneurs who are here to help during this pandemic. ENTREPRENEURFest will also offer inspirational speakers and leaders, storytelling through spoken word, virtual shopping, and we'll also explore Black and Brown unity through these unprecedented times. So let's get started and meet some of these amazing women.
Hi, my ladies from LATINAFest. I'm Nelly Galan, the author of Self-Made, Becoming Empowered, Self-Reliant, and Rich in Every Way. You know, we're in a crisis, and there are many crises of your life. I had my first crisis at 5 years old, leaving my country and coming here. And life will bring you many crises, some that are, earthquakes and floods and fires, and there'll be divorces and health issues, many crises. But that's why I want you all to become self-made, because that doesn't just mean being an entrepreneur. It means self-made means that to make it to the end of your life, you have to DIY yourself from the inside out. You have to always be ready to change, transform, pivot. And that is what this is about. We have to go with the flow. We have to know that this too shall pass. Every crisis passes. I always say to my son, read history, read the Bible. Pandemics have happened a million times. He goes, is this ever gonna end? Is this year ever gonna? It will end. And in the middle of every crisis is a silver lining. There are opportunities. There are great things for you. And for all of you that have small businesses, go apply for those loans. Go get the money, because this too shall pass and you will rebuild. I'm so happy to be with all of you, and I have a gift for all of you. I've done 3 webinars for you, 3 hours that you can watch in your pajamas. I tell you, how did I make it? How did I become an entrepreneur? How was I able to retire by 45? Step by step, knowing nobody, knowing nothing, being an assistant, being an intern. How did I figure this out? I'm going to help all of you. So sign up for my self-made webinar mastery series. Here goes, becomingselfmade.com/mastery. becomingselfmade.com/mastery. 3 hours I'm giving you for LATINAFest for free. Just sign up and you'll be able to watch my entire story, all my secrets, step by step. Adelante.
Well, hello. Just having all sorts of fun, and I have to have a refreshing drink in the middle of all of this because it's just been too much fun. This is my Mineragua. Isn't it beautiful? Put all these little fruit in there, and it's refreshing. And salud. But let's get started. Our next entrepreneur, she is a woman who has started 4 businesses, and she could tell you all about them. But today we're going to focus on Gigi's Organics. And what is that? Well, we will let our entrepreneur, Giselle Acachat, tell us all about it. So Giselle, how are you?
Estás, Belle? Hi.
It's always so good to see you. She is high energy. She's always a fun person to speak with. And today she's going to tell us about Gigi's Organics, because yes, she's had 4 businesses, but Gigi's Organics is very specific, and it's all about flavor. And tell us about what
it's all about sabor. Well, Gigi's Organics is a company that manufactures, because I make them myself, adobo en sazon, organic adobo en sazon, which, given our recent issues with a certain company that does some adobo en sazon, this one is completely clean and good for you and super healthy, and it is like flavor bombs in your food.
And you are so timely with this, because now is the time when people are looking for alternatives.
That's right.
Alternatives. So you've been ready for this. So tell us about how you got started with sazon and how you go about putting sazon together.
Well, look, here's the thing. This is what I use in my food, right? I have used it for forever. When I was doing Eco Rico and the cooking show, I'm a chef, by the way, as well as a few other things, an entrepreneur who starts companies right and left. But I created these blends, and I just thought, you know what? I did it out of necessity, right? The sazon was because I didn't want to use MSG in my food and in my daughter's food and in my family's food. And the adobo, of course, was because I used this completely growing up all the time. This is an adobo picante.
What is adobo? Tell me what adobo is.
Well, adobo is our salt. So I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican Dominican. Caribe, which is why you see me on Instagram at Taste the Caribe. Adobo is what we use to flavor our food. My adobo is a specific blend. What we have in there are completely organic spices, oregano, turmeric, a beautiful garlic, and then I use a lake salt, which is highly mineralized, so it has less sodium, and it's all together good for you, right? So that's what I do. I use it in everything. We use it as our salt. So instead of just plain salt, you would use adobo, and depending on, well, that's sazon, but you know, we've got them all back here. You see all of my beautiful bottles behind me.
And tell me about that, because you not only gather all of the spices to make your sazon and adobo, you're also the marketing department.
Oh, well, yes, I'm a marketing executive by trade, as well as an attorney, and
you're a badass.
All of those things. Well, look, here's the thing. I only create things that I believe in. I'm deeply, deeply passionate about health and wellness, particularly as a Latina and in the Latino community, with everything that's going on with, you know, increased rates of diabetes in children, problems with air and asthma, and, you know, water, and all of the diseases that are causing so many issues in our planet. And when I first started all of this with Eco Rico, you can find me at Eco Rico on YouTube if you want to watch me cook. I got tired of being shamed about what I was eating, what I wasn't eating. I didn't know how to shop for things. And so I just decided to educate myself and create my own thing. I mean,
and look at this. I want to show everybody, like, here's how it all starts, right?
Yes.
From her way. Look at this. Tell us which one is which.
Well, I can't tell what's on what side right now, but one of them is adobo picante. I think that's the spicy one on the left, and then I think that's adobo with black pepper, and then that is the sazon all-purpose from what I'm looking at. And as you can see, our mission is to disrupt Latin food one healthy meal at a time. Belle, you and I have talked a lot about this, right? My mission in life is to serve people and planet. And so everything that I've done has been about that, right? I really believe in integrity. And, you know, as your mission has been to, you know, bring Latin media and entertainment forward, mine has been about, you know, the things that I really care about, which are, you know,
tell me one thing. What do you love most about being an entrepreneur? To be your own boss, because you've worked for corporate America and now you are your own boss. What do you like about that?
You know, I love building and launching. I love it. I'm deeply passionate about that process. I just love seeing this happen, right? And then the thing that makes me even happier is when people do use it and then they talk to me about it. They send me, you know, texts and videos and pictures of their food, and they come back for more and more and more.
So tell me, what are you going to do for everyone who's watching and wants a new sazon? They want to go with a new organic sazon and eat healthy. Where can they find you, and what are you going to do special for all the people at ENTREPRENEURFest today?
Well, it's free shipping and tax. And, you know, as I've stated, when I talk to entrepreneurs, I tell them, particularly if you're going into retail or you have products that you want to launch, the biggest thing that is the biggest cost is your fulfillment. So, you guys would not know how much, and ladies would not know how much it costs to just ship products. And especially for small businesses, free shipping is really kind of the biggest, the thing that eats up all of our.
So that's what you're going to get today. So order today, okay? Order today, and you will get a free shipping. We all know, because when we buy something, it's really a great price. And then by the end, you've got like, you know, $15 you have to pay extra.
Oh, well, it's a ton of tax and it's a ton of shipping. And so I'm covering both for everybody.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you can find Gigi, Giselle, and her Gigi's Organics at that.
You can find it at gigisorganics.com. Yes. And what I really would love for everybody to do is watch the show. It's all there at the website. You can find recipes, you can find the blog, you can find Eco Rico TV, and of course you can order the products. And then you can find me anywhere online, and just hit me up and DM me if you want. If you have questions, if you want recipes, if you want to chit chat.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Giselle. Now, I've known her for a while, and I know her recipes, and she really does some great recipes. music and dancing included. So, hey, do it today so that you can go out and also learn a little dance here. We were so happy to have Giselle, just as we're happy to find out who else you're going to meet, because we have some wonderful Latina entrepreneurs. This is what it's about. It's an entrepreneur fest, and we just can't wait to introduce you to more.
I'm so excited to introduce our next vendors, Denise Favela, founder and partner of Travel Mercado, and Brenda Varela, partner and chief of operations of this amazing company that we all need right now. Thank you for being here at ENTREPRENEURFest.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So Travel Mercado, everything that you guys sell, I mean, it's so amazing. Talk to us about your company.
Yeah, so Travel Mercado was founded with the goal of nurturing a symbiotic relationship between our small business and artisan collectives and indigenous communities. Right now, Mexico, maybe one day we'll expand to other countries. And so we work directly with artisan collectives and artisans via a liaison that works at a nonprofit in Mexico. And it's our goal to nurture this relationship and for both of us to grow mutually.
Awesome. Yeah, now we are working with the Masawa community and the Otomi community.
Yeah.
So what do you sell? Tell us.
So let's start off by, we started selling face masks, actually. This is the Flor Masawa. This is from the Masawa community. And it's very beautiful. No mask is alike. These are hand cross-stitched. And they're very beautiful, and they have these elastics so you can adjust. And we have our geometric design. This one's really cool.
Yeah.
I think this is really nice for men and women. And we have
some of our own
This is one
design.
of my favorites. It's the Monarca. It's beautiful. Very beautiful.
So yeah, I want to ask you, these masks, obviously they help these indigenous communities in Mexico, and they also help us kind of promote and be proud of our culture during these times of COVID, right? Talk to us about the price point of these masks and where can people buy them?
Okay, so these masks, the Masawa are from the Masawa Collective in Mexico, and they're $15, and you can find them on our Etsy shop under Travel Mercado or Instagram under travel_mercado. And we participate or engage in a fair trade relationship. So we assure that we never barter, and we always give our artisans the compensation that they request.
Awesome. So I think this whole journey of entrepreneurship comes so naturally to us as Latinas. And Denise, I mean, I know that you're like pretty much a doctor, right? Don't you have a PhD or something like that?
Well, I was a doctoral candidate in politics and international relations. And so my primary research was actually working on transnational immigrant communities and their economic through a collective economic investment in their home communities. Wow. So I do have a familiarity in terms of working with economic and educational development in Mexico through either collective programs or fundraising projects. And most importantly, I do have an understanding of the importance in investing through small businesses in Mexico.
So why the pivot? And you know, Brenda, you can also answer this question. I'm just curious, why the pivot to, you know, you went through school, you're almost like a PhD level, and now you're pivoting and you're starting from kind of scratch, right? Like this whole new venture. Why the decision to do that for you, Denise? And then maybe after, I'll ask Brenda a similar question.
So for me, the pivot was, as you might know, through some of the posts I've done is I got married after living abroad. I moved here, and I had a daughter who was born with a heart defect, and she needed open heart surgery at a certain point. And because of that, her condition really limited. We had to be quarantined basically since she was born, and I couldn't leave her in childcare. So I had to become her primary caretaker, and even more so now when I wanted to go back into the workforce after surgery. So I decided to start a business where I embraced this relationship that I had already engaged with in Mexico with my transnational community and with artisans, and find a way to support, even in its whatever small form, Mexican artisans and businesses.
Awesome. Brenda, is this your side hustle, so to speak, or talk to us about you and what
this is, I'm learning a lot through Denise, but I am a party planner. So when the pandemic happened, I guess in March, I was left with no parties, no events.
So let's go shopping. Tell us where we can find these masks and all the other products you guys have.
So we have an Etsy page. It's under Travel Mercado. And our Instagram is where we post a lot of our items as well. And that's travel_mercado. And we have masks and we have these beautiful napkins. They're also hand embroidered, and there's no one alike. And we have these beautiful little purses.
So we're expanding.
We're expanding, yes. And we have these baking products
for like the concha.
Conchas. Who does marranitos, right?
You guys have like a discount for everyone that's watching right now. What's the discount?
For 10% off when you buy, we have a travel 10 for a discount code. And so, send us a direct message, or when you order on Etsy, remind us in your order that you have the travel 10 discount.
Travel 10. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I love what you're doing. It's amazing. And keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path, obviously, because this is just beautiful. Thank you so much for being part of ENTREPRENEURFest.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Okay, so are you guys having fun? We are, and especially because we have someone here who is going to tell us all about her company, Serenity Bliss. Her name is Cristina Maravilla, and she is a businesswoman who started her business only 2 years ago. And I want to welcome Cristina. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you, Belle?
Good. Tell us about Serenity Bliss. Tell us why you started it and why you gave it the name of Serenity Bliss.
So I started my business 2 years ago. And the reason why I started it was because I wanted healthier natural medicine for myself. And so what happened was that little by little, I started telling my friends about it. And then it just became a business because I noticed that there was a lot of people who actually need natural medicine or a natural approach for their bodies. Why Serenity Bliss? There was an oil that is named Serenity. And so I fell in love with that oil. That was my calming oil, the one that I always wanted on my body. And so Serenity seemed like it just fit. And I came across Serenity Bliss because the name together, it felt right at the moment. And so Serenity Bliss was the name that I chose for my company.
I love the name, but tell us, this is your side hustle. You have a full-time job. Tell us about the full-time job and then that you do during the week, I guess, right?
Right. So Monday through Friday, I work at UCSF Health, the University of San Francisco. I work in kidney transplant. I'm a practice coordinator there. I work with living kidney donation. And Saturday and Sunday, I focus on Serenity Bliss.
And tell us about those products that you have there, because you have natural, cruelty-free, and non-toxic products. But tell us what they do and give us a couple of names of the oils that you have.
Right. So I have all of these on my website right now. I have from Restful Nights, which is this blend right here. This one's good for sleep. Each one speaks for itself, I think. I have a stress blend. I have here the headaches blend, which is good for headaches. On my website, I also have on how to use each individual oil and where to apply it to the skin. Each one is also, I added fractionated coconut oil, so that way when you apply it to your skin, it doesn't burn or anything like that. Here I have the sugar scrub, which I also have on my website, and that one's good for exfoliation. You'd want to use that one in the shower.
And tell me, you even have one for cramps, right?
I do. That one's actually right here. This one right here. And it's actually called Tu Comadre. My mom and I have code word for when we get our period. And so Tu Comadre.
Tu Comadre.
Yeah. And so that is how I came up with it. And so, you apply it to your abdominal area whenever you're cramping. Yeah.
And tell us about the belief of essential oils, because some people might say, well, is that like medicine? Is that going to cure me of things? Explain to us how essential oils help you.
So they help the body heal itself. Technically, we're not allowed to say that they heal. So I would say that they help the body. And the more you apply, the better. It just depends on what it's for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, you have a special discount for the Entrepreneur Fest viewers?
I do. So I have a discount code on my website, and it will be applied at checkout, so you don't even have to type it in. It's called Shop Serenity. And if you don't see it, you're welcome to, I have my phone number on my Instagram, my business phone number, and I also have my email on there. So you're welcome to email, send me a direct message. If you don't see it for any reason, I will accommodate.
And tell us where they can find your products.
Yes. So you can find my products at www.serenityblisswellness.com. You can also take a look at them on my Instagram at serenitybliss_ or on Facebook.
Yes, I've seen, that's where I follow you on Instagram. So definitely they look fantastic. I've used some oils before, and I got to try yours because there are some very specific ones I need.
Right.
So, did you want to say something else?
I did. There is a new product that's going to be released sometime in September, and it's a lash serum, which I'm so excited about because I've been working so hard on this product. Yeah, so be aware that there's going to be new items in Serenity Bliss.
Tell me how, when you said you work so hard, what's the process in introducing a new product for you?
Well,
how do you do that?
For me, it's creating the labels. I do everything myself. So it's not just, it'd be creating the label, getting, wholesale from different vendors, and then also knowing for me what oils to put into what blend, because each oil has different essential oils that help for different things. And not only that, but also the smell. You want to make sure that it smells good. And that's about it.
Okay, so Christina, tell me your Latina secret.
My Latina secret. Never give up.
A great one. That's a great one. So thank you so much, Christina. Everyone, please go to her website and also find her on Serenity Bliss on Instagram. She has a discount for anyone who is watching today at Entrepreneur Fest. We wish you all the luck, Christina. You are awesome entrepreneur, and also is working her passion, doing that as a business, and hopefully soon that will be your only business, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe one day. But I love my job.
All right, well, there you go. Okay, guys, we'll be back with some more vendors and more entrepreneurs, some more fun, so don't go away.
And one of our amazing guests today is the sponsor of Entrepreneur Fest, or one of the sponsors of Entrepreneur Fest, presented by LATINAFest, which is Lazio. And here we have the beautiful CEO and founder of Lazio, Nadine Ramos. Thank you so much for helping us put all of this event together.
Oh, it was such a great pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Naive.
Nadine, this event is all about entrepreneurs, all about Latinas, and you really embody an empowered Latina. You have a company that has grown and has, stood the test of time. Talk to us about the scope of the size of your company.
Yeah, I started as a one-woman show, to be quite honest, and I've never thought in a million years that I would be a global brand today. And today we have over 20 employees. We sell to over 25 countries, and we are nationwide as well.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So Lazio Professional Hair Care has a lot of different products, and most of the products are for our type of hair, ethnic hair, Latina hair. Talk to us about the products that you have.
So we manufacture quality products to restore health back into the hair while bringing manageability and providing a frizz-free lifestyle to our customers. We understand that, especially Latinas, we suffer from frizzy hair. And so it's important for me to create quality products to combat that, where we could be confident in our natural hair and embrace who we are. Obviously living life frizz-free. So that was really important to me to create products for all hair types, and with knowing that frizz is the main problem here.
Right. And what I also love about you and your mentality and your mission is that you also help other entrepreneurs. You wrote an ebook called Unlock Your Inner Boss, How I Created My Table in the Beauty Industry, because the beauty industry is super competitive, but you found a space there. Talk to us briefly about the book, and then after, I would love to see a demo of how these products work.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I created a very short ebook called Unblock Your Inner Boss, and it was really created for those who feel stagnant and lost in pursuit of their dreams. It's a 6-chapter book that really has great tools and takeaways that you can apply to really any struggles that you're going through as a new entrepreneur. And it's an honor to be able to share my story and hopefully inspire many others who really have a dream in any business. But as you mentioned, it was hard breaking barriers in the beauty industry. It's very competitive. And I think the true thing in being successful in something like that is staying true to who you are and really having a strong foundation to overcome those major trials. So.
Right. Well, thank you for being a trailblazer in the beauty industry for us Latinas.
Oh, thank you.
I'd love to see how your products work.
Yeah, so today we're going to focus on one product called TKM. We have our wonderful model here. Her name is Amber. She suffers from frizzy hair, right? And so I knew I wanted to create a product that would be very versatile and act as a 3-in-1. So today we're going to use my TKM, which is an amazing styling product. It is going to add texture to her hair, give her a light hold, and add shine. As you can see, she has a natural curl pattern, but again, a lot of us suffer from that frizz, right? We need products that are gonna hydrate our hair, put health back into our hair, so when we style it, it looks nice, right? We can style our hair when it's not healthy and the finished look is not what we want, right? So as you can see here, I wanted to show you briefly on how the product looks. So this side is done. We added TKM into her hair, just one styling product, and we used a wand to define those nice loose curls, and I'm going to show you how to do it now. So first you start with, I'm going to start with the front just so you can see how super fast and easy it is. You spray our TKM. It dries instantly and again, you can use any tool of your choice. So if you're going for a looser curl, you want to use a bigger wand or a curling iron. If you want to define your curls, let's say you have really nice ringlets, but sometimes it's really hard to keep them intact or frizz-free, this is how you would do it. You would take a wand and just wrap the hair around there. Her hair right now is coated with the TKM, so it's protecting her hair from the heat. And as you can see, it's like instant dry, beautiful shine, a defined curl. And you would just carry this throughout the hair. And there you go. So what I love about the product is, again, it works on all hair types and it's such a lightweight product. Don't you hate when you use a product and it makes the hair feel really heavy and like as if you have products in it? This is so lightweight, so natural. I mean, look, I could run my fingers through your hair right now. And it still holds that shine. It still leaves it movable, manageable, very natural looking versus stiff or heavy with like products in it. It doesn't look like there's products in her hair.
Right.
So you would again just kind of do that throughout the entire hair.
Wow. So is that how you did your hair? Because I love your hair, Nadine.
I honestly, thank you. I cannot live without this product. It is my new favorite and my go-to for everything.
Can you give young Latina entrepreneurs that want to break into the beauty industry or any industry for that matter, some tips, like some of the things that were included in your book, Unlock Your Inner Boss, how I created my table in the beauty industry. As you're doing this, I would love to hear those types of tips as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the key things to really creating your table in any industry would be to really have a sense of self, right? You need to have a level of confidence that no one but you can give yourself. And I say that because it's not easy in business. And some of us, if we lack confidence, the moment we feel that we failed or our goals weren't met or it's taking longer than we anticipated, we can tend to either give up or be really hard on ourselves. And so, you know, you really got to dig deep. You really have to dig deep into the person you are and really define who that is. And from there, I believe that building of self-confidence starts to come out. And then once you have that, you're unstoppable. When they say no, it's like, okay, moving on to the next. Or you don't take no for an answer. I don't take no for an answer. I don't ever take no for an answer. I can tell you that. And again, that doesn't come if you're timid, right? And when you build that, I'm telling you, that's when things start to change. That's when you can actually be a good leader, right? That's when you can start incorporating those qualities into your team, and now you start building that foundation in your company, and now you have a team of people who are confident as well. I mean, and that is powerful. So my biggest takeaway on that would be time, time to reflect, time to really develop that quality, because it's really important to have in any business.
Right. And developing this self-esteem and that confidence is something, it's like work that you need to do on yourself, on your own, right? No one really can give that to you.
Exactly. That comes within, and tools that you can do to help bring that out, because the truth is, really, no one can take that out of you. That comes within yourself. So just practicing things like setting standards for yourself, and not swaying from that. That helps develop self-confidence. Challenging yourself, right? Like hard challenges, things that are really going to make you sweat. And
right.
And when you find yourself successful in those things, again, that starts to build that confidence.
Right. I really love that takeaway, setting standards for yourself and not swaying from those standards, because those standards could be in all aspects of life. It could be, what you accept from your partner in life, or your boss in life, or your friends, right? When you start kind of valuing yourself, then that confidence starts building. And we know that you have the confidence, because look at you, boss lady.
Again, you need that. So that's it's one of the tools that has allowed me to get so far, especially in this industry of being male dominant. There's this beauty industry has been passed down to generations, grandfathers passing it down to their sons and their forth. So I learned very fast and early on in my career that, I had to set my own standards. I had to commit to my expectations. And with that, there was plenty of times where I had to say no to big deals, and not think so much about the finances, but I thought about, how does this complement my brand? How would partnering up with this company complement my brand? Are they going to silence my voice, right? For their benefit? And a lot of the times that happens, and you need to say to yourself, I need to stay true to who I am. There's no dollar amount that's going to change that. And at the end, it's rewarding. It really is. Right. This year, we took a leap of faith, and with everything happening, we obviously didn't expect this to happen. But as a company, we all agreed that it would be best for us to go direct and not focus so much on distribution. And for those in the beauty industry, the importance of distribution. That really gets the brand out. That helps with sales nationwide. And we just realized that wasn't the best approach for our business anymore. And so we took the leap of faith, decided to go direct, and within months, we grew our brand successfully, independently, by 40%. And so we are so proud to stand by who we are and stay true to who we are. And again, it is like, is this the right thing to do? And look, in just months, we were able to do that, even during such a time like this.
So your model there, I'm loving what's happening there with the product. And, all her curls are nice and non-frizzy.
Yes, we're getting there. I only have a few more pieces. And then I'll show you exactly how we finish the look off using TKM.
Okay. So most of your customers, you said, are direct. So does that mean they buy directly from your website, or what does that mean exactly?
Yes, that means that we sell directly to both salon professionals and our retail customers directly from our e-commerce site. And so for the salon professionals, we provide virtual education and marketing support. And for our retail customers, we provide a very easy, user-friendly checkout system on our website so they could just purchase our products with ease. So as you can see here, I am done styling her hair with the wand. I'm gonna spray just a little bit more to give her that finished look. You could use a comb so it doesn't look so in place. You want it to look really natural and full of volume and body.
Wow. So is that is that spray also like a hairspray type thing, or what is it exactly?
Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, I love it because it acts as a 3-in-1. It's going to act as a texturizing spray and mist. A hairspray, it gives it a soft hold, and like a serum, it gives it that shine. So you're getting a 3-in-1, and when you're styling your hair, you're usually looking for those 3 elements. You're looking for that texture to come out. You want that soft hold so that she can look fabulous for 8 hours and not worry about her hair falling. And then you want that finished shine, but you don't want it to weigh down the hair. So TKM provides all of that in just one bottle, giving you texture, shine, and a nice finished hold.
Perfect. And where can people find it if they want to go and buy it? What's the website?
So you can go on to lacioinc.com and mention LATINAFest 2020 and receive 20% off.
Awesome. Well, Nadine, we're going to talk to you a little bit more later on, or we're going to hear from you a little bit later on in the show. Thank you so much for being one of the you're really to support the Latina entrepreneurs that are just starting, that hope to be at the level that you are one day, and they will with all this encouragement. And I also want to remind people that if you want to get Nadine's tips, go and buy her book, Unlock Your Inner Boss, How I Created My Table in the Beauty Industry.
Yes,
Nadine,
thank you so much. Thank you.
We're going to hear from you a little later on in the show.
Yes, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
In 2018, the Aspen Institute website proclaimed that if the Latino community is the nation's economic powerhouse, then Latinas are the engine. The Latino buying power reached $1.5 trillion in 2018 and is projected to grow to $1.9 trillion by 2023. Today, Latinas make up 1 in 5 women in the U.S. They are attending colleges at a higher rate than ever and contributing to the surge of the Latino-owned businesses. For the most part, Latinas are the decision makers in their household. The 29 million U.S. Latinas have made significant strides over the past 2 decades. Latinas are driven to do more, speak louder, and take on positions of influence that were less attainable in the past. According to the National Women's Council, there are over 2 million Latina-owned businesses in the country, a growth of more than 87% since 2007. You have met some of these women here today at ENTREPRENEURFest, and we'd like to acknowledge one more. Laura Semtoma created her own skincare. It's called Reveal You Skincare, and it is 100% natural, formulated to assist in the natural balance and flexibility of the skin. It is 99.5% chemical-free, alcohol-free, fragrance-free, paraben-free, oil-free, vegan, and cruelty-free. Reveal You Skincare began in 2014, intent on discovering skincare products that could protect and rejuvenate the skin. Their products have been featured in several publications, and they are lauded by the men and women who use them. We acknowledge you, Lori, and we thank you for being part of ENTREPRENEURFest.
Hello, LatinaFest. It's Gloria Calderon-Kellett here, the creator of One Day at a Time. I'm here in my Tostones t-shirt, working from home, and I wanted to send love to all of you at LatinaFest. Thank you for being badasses, chingonas, out there crushing it. We need you, we see you, and you are making such vital and positive change. So sending love and un besote. All right, bye LatinaFest. Adios.
is safer than breathing.
This is a petty love poem for the last man I loved. You see, I am the woman after the girl talking. And you're no longer the light at the end of the tunnel, you're the tunnel itself. Let every woman before me and after know that I loved you into a better version of yourself, so you and they are all welcome. I don't love you anymore. But black boy, I still owe you an apology. Because you were never meant to become an ex. At a crossroad, intersection of mass incarceration and mass deportation, you did not fly 3 continents to be called dangerous. So undocumented black boy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they used you for target practice. That when the guns don't work, they use deportation as an alternative. That loaded the rifle with xenophobia and racism and rename you 2 birds, 1 stone. But if I can make a metamorphosis out of every argument we ever had and every toxic word we ever whispered, I'll turn them into love letters and I'll deliver them straight to the heart of every bigot who hasn't been blinded by the beauty of your smile. Undocumented black boy, when they call your smile a grimace, when they call it talking back and snapping back, when there are too many witnesses who take your life, so instead they ask you for your papers, remind them that there's a Dominican woman you done did everything to who still forgave you. An atheist, you made believer enough to pray for you, even to come home. You make the impossible possible, so how dare they mess with you? Undocumented black boy. 3 years have passed since we moved on, since I opened up my wings and let you go, but I'm still waiting on your call. The one that comes at 3 p.m. when you finally swallow that pride and you whisper those 3 beautiful words that will crack me open like ice does. On New York City sidewalks I slip and fall all over again. Call me up on a Sunday afternoon and finally tell me that, Jelly, I am safe. Don't you worry about my deportation or my death anymore. Undocumented black boy. I still pray your best friend never calls me crying, sobbing because a cop confused your hands for shotguns, your wit for resistance, and then calls your existence illegal. I hope I get to see the day that another woman creates a child with your eyes, with your birthmark. I hope I get to see the day that you walk down the aisle dressed in nothing but survival proof to me that prayers do in fact work, because I get to see you grow wrinkled and old with the woman you love. You say the only thing more painful than you moving on is you never having the ability to do so. So do so. Live. Breathe. Because there's an atheist Dominican woman who till this day prays for your safety.
Till the sun comes up, till the sun comes up, till the sun comes, till the sun, till the sun comes up.
And we just listened to that amazing performance by poet and activist D'Angeli Rodriguez del Orbe, undocumented black boy, and we are so happy to have her here in ENTREPRENEURFest. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That is such a powerful poem. You wrote it, right?
Definitely. I wrote it about 4 years ago. I started in my senior year of college and I finished it 1 year out when I began performing poetry.
Right. So talk to us about the message that you wanted to convey, because that poem is so relevant today with everything that's going on, right?
Yes. So I was undocumented all through my childhood in the U.S. since I migrated when I was 8 years old, through high school and eventually through college. And something I noticed was that
you are from the Dominican Republic, correct?
Yeah, so I migrated from Dominican Republic. I grew up in New York, in the Bronx, New York. And something that I always noticed was that my story wasn't really in the news, right? There was little to no coverage of Dominicans and migration, even though Dominicans are kind of the fifth immigrant population in the U.S., right? So along with Dominicans not having representation, it was also the fact that Black immigrants were incredibly underrepresented in media. And when a story is not presented in media, that means that there are less access to resources, right? Because folks don't know that we exist. So when I wrote Undocumented Black Boy, I wrote it, one, to challenge the bad versus good immigrant narrative that we see on TV, right? And second, to really highlight that Black immigrants are also here, right? That Black immigrants have a voice. And that Black immigrants lay at the intersection of mass incarceration and mass deportation, right? That not only are they targeted by ICE, but they're also targeted by ICE because they're targeted by police. So Undocumented Black Boy was the way to create visibility for Black immigrants, especially Black immigrants with a criminal record. And also to write about love, right? And the importance of love in these kind of narratives.
Right. So you wrote that 3 years ago. It's still very, very much a topic that we're talking about now, right? With Black Lives Matter and with the targeting of the Black community, and obviously within that, the Afro Latinos that have even more barriers and challenges. Can you talk to that?
Yes. So again, Black immigrants are also disproportionately policed, right? And something that we see is that for the most part, Black immigrants end up in proceedings or end up in deportation proceedings because they've been targeted by police, right? And they're disproportionately targeted. And we see that in Black Lives Matter, right? Before a cop interacts with you, they do not ask whether you're an immigrant or not. The first thing that they see is that you're Black, right? So Undocumented Black Boy was a way to kind of shed a light on Black boys, right? No matter where they're from, and how they are disproportionately targeted. And a few years back, the Black Lives Matter movement publicly recognized, right, that along with challenging police brutality, we also have to highlight the Customs and Border Patrol's influence, right, and intervening when it comes to Black people being targeted by enforcement. So it's a correlation that can't be ignored.
Mm-hmm. And is the main character in that poem based on someone you know, or is it kind of like a fictionalized character of a lot of different people that you've known?
So the poem was written about someone I know. At the time, I was dating someone who was also undocumented and someone who was Black. He was from Guyana. I was from the Dominican Republic. And a lot of these stories are not really told in media, right? That immigrants can come from another place other than Mexico and Central America, right? So I really wanted to highlight not just Caribbean immigrants, but also Guyanese immigrants at the time. So so the poem is about someone who is very well aware that the poem is about them. So
awesome. So talk to us about your work. You, you're a poet, you're an activist, you do so many things. You're a podcaster. Share with us all of the things that you are doing in this creative space.
Yeah, so right now I am also an organizer with an organization called Undaki Black. And this organization basically creates space and community wellness and facilitates access to resources to Black immigrants, to Black formerly undocumented and currently undocumented immigrants in the US. So that's kind of like my organizing work. And then on the side, I also do poetry, but I also co-founded a podcast. And the podcast is called Loose Accents. And Loose Accents is basically a podcast that was meant to connect and look at the similarities and the differences of immigrants in the East Coast and the West Coast, because there are two very different cultures when it comes to migration, right? In the East Coast, especially in the Northeast Coast, the population of immigrants is predominantly Caribbean, right? Mostly from the Dominican Republic. In Miami, you have predominantly Cubans, and you also have a lot of Puerto Ricans that grew up alongside with me in New York. So in the West Coast, then you see a difference that for the most part, immigrants are Mexican or Central Americans. And that allows for kind of the dynamics of migration to be different. And also the way that immigrants survive tends to be different depending on where they land after migration. So the podcast is meant to highlight those stories and to really make a space for those differences and those similarities and say, hey, we're here, right? We're different, but there are also some similarities that go a long way, right? That this struggle for a better life, right? This surviving, and this like kind of pushing forward, no matter what your status is or how much money you came to the U.S. with, right? And those are the stories that we hope to highlight and make a space for, especially within the immigration movement.
Awesome. Well, I definitely feel like art heals, and you are doing so much for our community. Thank you so much. If people want to find your podcast, your website, if they want to hire you for, being a spoken word artist at any of their events or a keynote speaker, where can they find you?
They can always go to my website, DangeliRodriguezDelOrbe.com, and there they can find information about my podcast and also how to contact me, and also all the links to all the work that I have right now that is public, and hopefully work that is coming soon in the fall 2020.
Awesome. Sounds like you have something, under your sleeve.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, of course. It's always a pleasure to have you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Bye.
Hi, this is Belle Hernandez, and I want to welcome you to ENTREPRENEURFest, where we are going to highlight some of the most badass Latina women who are running their business and doing a great job. One of those women is Melanie De Leon, and she is the co-owner of Subicana Designs. Welcome, Melanie. How are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm good.
Okay, so excited because ENTREPRENEURFest is all about celebrating entrepreneurs. So tell us, how long have you been in business?
We've been in business 2 years, a little bit over 2 years now.
And what sparked the idea for the products that you sell?
Well, being raised in Southern California, but spending all my summers in Guatemala, Central America, I picked up both cultures, aside from being first generation. And so I saw a lack of merchandise, basically going to the stores, just regular stores, Target, Walmart, and it's not necessarily all the characters and icons that we associate with, and relate to. So I saw a gap in the market, and it went well with my degrees. And so we decided to launch our own product line.
Wow. And tell us about your products, because you have some amazing products. I see some in the back, which are the clutches. Tell us about those and how you came up with that idea.
This idea actually,
yes.
This idea came up. This is our standard signature piece that this collection started the whole line. We grew up playing loteria, and I wanted to do it in a different way other than just a printed loteria that we see now. So I designed it with hand beading, embroidery, and on the back. And this purse at an event was picked up by Eva Longoria, and that's where we got a little bit more of a platform.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we started with the bags. We still have them. They're very popular still. We've got a silhouette right here.
I love that. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Venecia Querida Frida. And then we launched, 2 stickers and air fresheners and bracelets. And right now we're launching our summer totes as well. It's a really big size, a nice shoulder drop. So you're not difficult. We have her, and we have Maria too. And they're really nice and sturdy.
You can use that for shopping. You could use that to go to the beach. There's so many uses, and you're in culture.
Yes, exactly. So, and it's a really nice product, commercial ready, and made by a small business. It relates to us, and it's a good, nice, solid product. Right here, I also have the backpacks that now are coming in. Also, hand beaded and embroidered.
Oh, that's a backpack. Turn it around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, really simple, like really comfortable. I've been using them myself. You know, I like to test my product, make sure our clients and our customers are happy with the product. And then, you know, air fresheners, again, that relate to us and represent us and, you know, what we stand for and who we are, you know?
So, what was the hardest thing, Melanie, about opening your business? What was the hardest thing?
I think just people getting to know us and who we are and what we stand for. You know, it's now, I mean, a little bit after 2 years, people are like, oh, that's a Sabucana design, you know, or
You're known now.
yeah, and I love to see that. I love the stories like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was little, I saw, you know, Topoyi, or I saw, you know, behind me, you can see Ñaca Ñaca. Right here, you can see Chiqui Dráculas. I don't know if you remember him. And, you know, it's just people tell me so many stories about their childhood and what they remember. And they love seeing product now that relates to them.
So tell us, where can people find your products?
Well, for right now, other than that, you can find me everywhere. Once COVID is over, you can find me at most, you know, Latin events or Latin influence events. But right now we're online at sabucana.com. All our merchandise in there. We have Instagram. You can always contact me. We love speaking to customers. Yeah, that's pretty much where you can find us.
And tell us what discounts you have in store.
Okay, so if you go into my website, put your email in, you'll automatically get a discount. If it doesn't work, contact me. We're personable. Just let us know, and we can always go in and apply it. But yes, there's already a discount set up in there for you guys to enjoy.
And that's sabucana.com, correct?
Sabucana.com, correct.
Okay, so everyone, please go and visit Melanie at sabucana.com. Get your discount so that you can get some of these wonderful items. Thank you so much, Melanie. We really appreciate you. We appreciate all your products. They're beautiful. And I just want to say goodbye and for now, but we follow you. So we're always looking at your new products at Sabucana and on Instagram, right?
Yes.
It's at Sabucana. Okay.
Sabucana.
Thank you so much. The best of luck in all of your future business.
Thank
and
you.
That is it for us from ENTREPRENEURFest. Thank you.
I love seeing all these amazing Latinas that are following their passions and going for it.
Yes, and speaking of powerful Latinas, ABC7 LA community reporter Gabriela Milan talked to one of our vendors here at ENTREPRENEURFest. Let's go over to her.
Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriela Milian, a community journalist with ABC7, and I'm so excited to be a part of ENTREPRENEURFest. It's never too late or too early to become an entrepreneur. Meet 18-year-old entrepreneur Katie Gonzalez, who turned her pain into passion and is now thriving.
I had depression because I guess the school I went to before, there were just so many students and there were just bullies and just a negative environment. So then I would watch slime videos. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so satisfying. I want to play with it. I want to try it. So my mom actually got a bunch of supplies so I could learn how to do it. And I was actually out of therapy after that because it changed my life. I had gallons of slime in my room. My mom was like, you should sell it. You have so much of it, it's just sitting here. I think pop-up events, just anything Vendorama definitely was a good spot for me where I'm always there every month. I did classes. For the classes, they felt like it was a time for family bonding because it wasn't just for the kids, it was also for the parents too if they wanted to join. I had stuff planned from March to June, and when the pandemic came, April was when everything was kind of canceled. It made me a little sad because not only my classes were canceled, my parties were canceled, events, and it's not even just this made me so busy. I didn't really have time to do anything else. So it just I was like, what do I do now? I'm not the type of person to try to sell you something when we're going through a tough time. And I felt like we were all going through something that was like, we just need to pause right now. We just need to focus on our families, our safety. I didn't want to like buy my slime. You know, even though it is therapeutic, it is helpful. I don't know. I just took a break, to be honest. I definitely see myself with a store. Like, not only just for slime, but like a party store as well, because like we do other things too. You're gonna keep growing. Even if you grow 1 follower a week, you're still going to keep growing and growing and growing. And like, content is everything. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not about like what your friends say, what your family says. Oh, you have a small business. Oh, you only have this amount of followers. That doesn't matter. Because if you keep driving yourself, you keep pushing yourself, one day you're gonna reach your goal. And they're gonna stop talking.
Now to more wonderful entrepreneurs.
So our next entrepreneur is amazing. Jessica Perez from Megavi Hats. She is representing the company because it's your mom, I believe, right? The owner of the company.
Yes, correct. My mom is the owner of the company. I just try to help her out any way I can.
That is so amazing because I think one of the effects that entrepreneurs have is showing their children how to also be entrepreneurs. So amazing. Angelica, talk to us about Megavi Hats. What kind of a company is it?
So Megavi Hats is more than a company to us. It's more of a tradition that we pass down through generations. My mom was born in Guanajuato, and the village she's from, they really do make most of their income from creating hats. So her first job as a child was in the business of hat making. So just being able to bring it to this country and share it with not only our immediate family, but with strangers that are turned to family now, it's really amazing.
Right. Yeah, because you guys are giving work and jobs to those craftsmen and artisans in Mexico, right?
Correct. And they're just creating their art and sharing it with so many people to be able to add it to their style and their closet and accessories. And it's really good to know that we're giving back to our community back home, knowing that this money could be used to feed themselves or provide a roof over their head.
And those hats are beautiful. So show us a few examples of some of the hats that are sold by Megavi.
Of course. So this is one of our newer hats. So we have 2 different styles. This one could be used more for like the winter. It's a little more cottony, and this is part of our summer collection.
Yeah.
So
another thing that I really like about Megavi Hats is that you guys are not, it's a company that is not appropriating art or styles. You are Mexican American. These hats are produced by Mexicans. This is like a true 100% authentic product. And all the money is going back to our community in Mexico and here. So kudos to you guys. I really love that hat behind you. What is that one called? The on the other side, that one. Yeah.
This one is our Carlos Explorer style.
Would you mind like kind of putting it on so we can get a sense of like?
So most of our hats are going to be adjustable. They come in different sizes, and again, they are all created by artisans in Mexico.
So, más o menos, how much are the hats?
So our hats range from $30 to about $80 on average. We do have some hats that are a little more expensive, but on average, they are from $30 to $80.
And that is really, really reasonable because there's so much expense in importing the hats and having them handmade, not by a factory, but by actual people, right? So I think that's such a reasonable price. Talk to us a little bit more about another style that you had. I think you showed us a few a little bit ago. So talk to us. Can you show us and like talk to us a little bit more about like that black one behind you? The big
this
like
is
the velvet?
No, it's not. It's wool.
It's
So-
wool. Wow. Beautiful. And then the strap, can you put it up a little bit? That strap, is it an interchangeable?
It is. So these are also made, these are embroidered, but you can also take them off and switch them for whatever style you want. So you can just go with a simple, like all black look, or you can interchange these straps as well.
Wow.
So yes.
Do
And
you
these
have
are as well. I'm sorry?
Do you have other straps you can show us so people can
Yeah.
see the variety?
I do. So this is one of our newer styles. They're all pretty floral, which
Yeah.
keep like just kind of like in a Mexican tradition.
Right.
And this is one of my favorites.
Uh-huh. That's beautiful because if you're wearing like all black and the black hat, that little floral thing kind of just gives it that pop.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just a staple accessory for sure.
Right. And you can, like you said, buy a few different ones and change them out depending on what your outfit looks like. Tell us show us some other styles.
Yeah, of course. So this one right behind me is hand woven from palm, and it's from Yucatan, which is just, I feel like, so beautiful because the place it's made of is so tropical and beachy, and it's the perfect place to wear this.
Right. That is beautiful. And I cannot believe that's actually like real. Is that real palm?
Correct.
Oh my goodness. And how much is that one?
This one is going to be $95.
$95. Well worth the money. And I understand that you have a surprise discount for everyone that's watching right now. What is that?
Yeah, so it's going to be LATINAFest 2020, and you will get 20% off.
And that's on your website at checkout?
Yes, on megavi.co.
Okay, how do you spell Megavi? So I guess it's right there, but just repeat how you spell it so if people want to check out your hats, they know which website to go to.
It's megavi.co.
Right, and then you guys are also on Instagram, also Megavi?
It's Megavi Hats.
Perfect. Anything else you'd like to add before we say goodbye and when we invite everyone to go to your website?
Just thank you so much for this opportunity and allowing us to share our culture with your viewers and LatinaFest fanatics.
Awesome. Angelica, thank you so much. What an amazing experience to be helping your mom, being an entrepreneur. I'm sure she's a great role model because after all, being an entrepreneur isn't easy. So I'm sure you're learning a lot, right?
Especially when entrepreneurs are not only, just it's the business, it's the sacrifice of coming to a new country and trying to provide for your family. I think it's a very big sacrifice. Again, like being Latina, coming to an unknown world that is the business world, but also another world that speaks a completely different language than you.
Right. We have a lot of bold and brave entrepreneurs out there. Well, thank you so much, Angelica. And let's all check out those beautiful Megavi hats. All right.
Hello, I'm Hilda Solis, Chair Pro Tem of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors. In only a few short months, our lives have changed dramatically. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought significant economic hardships for Latina entrepreneurs and small business owners. This is very important to me since I represent some of the most vulnerable communities in LA County, such as East Los Angeles, who have been hardest hit by this pandemic. To respond, I established the COVID-19 Business Relief Grant to support businesses in unincorporated areas within my district. Furthermore, in partnership with institutional and corporate philanthropy, the county, along with the city of LA, has come together to create the LA Regional COVID-19 Recovery Fund. The regional fund offers loans and grants to entrepreneurs, small businesses, and nonprofits. For more information, please go to lacovidfund.org or call our new LA Disaster Help Center at 833-238-4450. Our East LA Entrepreneur Center, located at Centro Maravilla Community Center, is still providing virtual services during these unprecedented times. The center, which I advocated for and worked to open, is currently operated by our Department of Consumer and Business Affairs Office of Small Business. It is a one-stop business development hub that assists prospective and existing Latina business owners with a multitude of services, including access to capital, information about navigating permits and licenses, and one-on-one business counseling and succession planning. It is a substantial investment in our East LA business community. Small businesses and Latina entrepreneurs keep our regional economy strong. We all win when we support and empower our small businesses, micro enterprises, and emerging Latino entrepreneurs. Together, we'll get through this crisis. Thank you all for doing your part.
When you vote, something powerful happens to your voice. Your single ballot becomes a megaphone. You stand out and tell your community and our nation what you want for our future. Vote411.org is your tool for accurate and unbiased election information on the issues that affect you and the people you care about. Through Vote 411, you can register to vote using our online form that only takes a few minutes to complete, available in multiple languages. Check your registration status and find out where to vote right on the Vote 411 homepage, and get important up-to-the-minute information on the elections happening in your state and local community through the Vote 411 interactive map. Your voice is strong and important. It is a critical part of our democracy. Vote411.org is your tool for all the election information you need. Get online, get the facts, and make your voice heard on Election Day. Powered by the League of Women Voters Education Fund.
Wow, so much fun, so many people, so many entrepreneurs, so many vendors, so many of everything. And we're glad that you're here with us, because this is all about the entrepreneurial spirit and a bunch of Latinas who are going out there and doing it. They're starting their businesses because they have a passion for that. And one of the persons that has that passion is Cecilia Torres. She has a business called Folklore Accessories, and I would like for you to meet her now. Cecilia, ¿cómo estás, Cecilia?
Muy bien, gracias. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. I love your business. You've been in business since 2014.
Correct.
And you sell the most awesome products. Tell us about what kind of products you sell. And if somebody were to say, what kind of store does Cecilia have? Or what kind of products does she have? You would say what?
Well, we have folkloric accessories. The name says it. We specialize on accessories. Everything is handmade. And our accessories are all inspired in our Latino culture. So all of them have themes such as Dia de Muertos, freedom, different things.
So show us, well, before you show us your products, let me ask you, what is it about running a business? Because I know that you also are a teacher, right? Tell us about that, the teaching job that you have.
Well, actually, I started the business because of the teaching. I bought a fabric to put it on my classroom on a bulletin board.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was about to staple it on the wall, I thought it was too pretty to be there covered with, with dust or the student work will cover it. So I decided to make a tote bag out of the fabric, and I made it and I loved it. And then I went and bought more fabric and I got into it, and, friends and family started asking to make some for them. And that's how we started.
And you started making the products. So how do you get the ideas? Because you have a lot of products. You have a tote bag, but you have little coin bags. You have little rolls where you put your brushes or your lipsticks. So how do you come up with the ideas? Is it you just like think of something and say, I haven't seen that, let me make it?
You know what? First of all, all of the items we make, those are things that you use on daily basis. And all of those things are things that we use. For example, the makeup, we like makeup, and we thought of something to organize our brushes. Makeup bags, same thing. So we like those fabrics so much that we just get inspired. And the more you make, the more ideas you start getting.
Okay, so let's see some of those products because I can't wait for you to show them to everybody. So show me some of the items that you have back there.
Of course. Well, these are the tote bags that we started with. This one is Alfredita. They are very durable. I made it, when I made the first one, it was, like I said, I'm a teacher, so I made it mainly for me to carry out my laptop and my books. So they're very sturdy. They're very sturdy. They last forever. I still have the first one I made, and I still carry it with me. So yeah, these are our tote bags. We have different designs. Dia de Muertos, different kinds. And also, you were mentioning the makeup accessories. These are our famous brushes. This is one of our best sellers. They look like just rolls.
Show us the design. Open it up and show us the design. Oh, that's beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, now show us inside.
Inside, it's always colorful, always matching colors. And these have many uses. We started making them for makeup brushes, and then we started. Customers started asking for different custom orders for like makeup.
Lipstick
or color pencils, markers, painting brushes, and yeah. So they have different uses.
It has multiple uses. It's not just for brushes, so you could use it for so many things. Show us something else that you have there. What about the pillows? And where do those designs come from? You just like shop for the fabric at stores, or do you like import them from somewhere, or where do they come?
I shop for the fabrics. Fabrics are. I don't design the fabrics. I just shop for them, and I see one I like, and I get inspired. For example, this is from our latest collection. We just launched this Casa collection. I saw this fabric, I loved it, and I knew that I had to do something with it. And we came out with the idea of making it into a home decor. So we have pillows on this with this design, and we also have table runners. The table runners. You can use them. We've seen our customers use them over the table, over side tables, on the bed. So again, they have multiple uses.
And you also make a lot of masks, right? When did you start making the masks?
The masks, we started them when all of this started. First, I wasn't gonna make them, and but then the demand got bigger, and people started asking. I started getting messages asking for masks. So,
and are they still calling for masks?
We have less demand. The demand is lower, but we still make a lot of.
So tell me, which is your most favorite and most popular seller?
Right now, it's the home decor. Right now, we've been focused on this. I've been getting a lot of orders on this. We have 2 different designs.
Oh, show me the one you were going to show me before I interrupted you. That one, yes.
This one is Otomi inspired. It is printed. It is not embroidery, but it's so colorful and beautiful, and it's
beautiful. It is beautiful. So tell us, where can we find your products?
You can find us on Instagram. Our Instagram is Folklore Accessories, and there is a link to our Etsy shop, and there you can find us.
So you're on Etsy as well?
Yes, we're on Etsy, Facebook, and Instagram.
Well, what's the best thing you like about being a businesswoman?
I like that I can be creative and I can create my own the things that
you're the boss, right? That you're the boss and you tell you what to do.
Yeah, that's
Okay, well, thank you so much. I love your products. I didn't know you started a home collection, so congratulations. It's beautiful. And just like we have with Cecilia, we have a lot more to show you because Latinas are one of the fastest growing entrepreneurs in America. And we could see why. They have a job, but they have a passion to be creative and to put out products that you don't find anywhere. So we want to congratulate Cecilia Torres, and we have more for you. So let's go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Guerrero, the District Director for the U.S. Small Business Administration South Florida District Office. And I'm here to let you know that the SBA is here to help entrepreneurs start their business, or if you're already in business, we can help you grow your business by utilizing our myriad of programs that are at no cost to you, the small business owner. So please go to sba.gov, click on local assistance, and reach out to your local SBA office. It will be a relationship that will last you a lifetime. Thank you.
It's been so much fun listening to all of these women talk about their businesses, all these inspirational women who've already scaled in their business, who are now reaching back and helping others along. Isn't it, Naibe? I just love it.
It is amazing. And you and I are part of this group. We are entrepreneurs, right?
That's right. I mean, I've been in business for over 25 years. We started the first trade publication called Latin Heat. And then from there, we were into production. We do productions. We produce the Trend Talk, a talk show, and other shows. And our company also has Latin Heat Cinema, which is a streaming platform where we can get content from content producers and distribute. So, that's been our journey, always to elevate Latinos and the Latino presence in media. And you started your company, like 2 years ago? And it's a publishing company, and it's very exciting because it's connected. But you tell us about it. Tell everyone about what your company does.
That's right. So I think I'm starting to become a serial entrepreneur. So every woman that we've been talking to, you and I, Belle, we understand the struggles of starting a business, of keeping a business, of balancing everything, because we're there. We are in the trenches doing exactly what all these other women are doing. So I started Con Todo Press, which is a publishing company, because I got tired, not only as a Latina, but as a mom, of listening to all of the disparaging comments that we were hearing about our Latino community, that we were criminals, that we were gang members, all these horrible things, because it directly affects the self-esteem of our children and of brown communities. So I decided to write books, children's books like these two, Be Bold, Be Brave, 11 Latinas Who Made U.S. History, and this one, Fearless Trailblazers, Pioneros Audaces, that are bilingual books and that feature Latinos that have done amazing things in this country, that we are part of what America is. We're not the other. We are part of the fabric of America, and we've contributed tremendously. You think of, people like Dolores Huerta, who's in here, Hilda Solis, who is in our show today as well, Selena, so many amazing women.
But you're not only publishing for yourself, which I know you have a new book coming up, right? In October?
It's called How to Fold a Taco, and it has my mom's taco de papa recipe at the end. That's really an exciting project. It's different than these books because these are more nonfiction, and the taco book is just a fun play on words fiction book. And yeah, that one comes out in October. You can pre-order it now.
So Con Todo Press is a publishing company. So you always meant it to be not just for yourself, but to help other people publish. Is that correct?
That is correct. I really want to amplify the voices of underrepresented communities, mainly women, mainly Latinos, Black and Brown communities. So I actually do have two authors that I'm working with, independent of myself, two Latina authors, a Cuban American and a Mexican American, and we're working on their books, because there's only 5% of all children's books have main characters that are Latino. So we represent almost 20% of the population. So there's a big gap there, right? If kids don't see it, they're not going to believe it, and they're not going to be it. So we need to show, and that's what I'm trying to do with my books, show Latino little boys and girls that they can be anything they want, and that they shouldn't be listening to all the horrible things that some people out there have been saying about our wonderful, hardworking, hustling community.
And you, when you started, there wasn't, you had a long and wide learning curve, because there wasn't someone that you could go to and say, how do I self-publish? Because you were self-publishing. So you are now also turning that around, because you are helping, like you said, you have two authors that you're helping. This is something you do. You also coach people who want to publish. Is that correct?
That's correct, because people started to, inbox me, DM me, email me, send me requests of like, how do I self-publish? So I decided to have a coaching service, which was very, very affordable. I actually did hire a coach myself when I started, and I know how valuable it is. And it's been so gratifying to work with other Latino authors, because mainly the people that have reached out to me have been Latina authors, to see their books come into fruition and to help them, because we really need more books out there. We really do. So if you have a book idea, or if you want to be coached, reach out to me at contodopress.com or Instagram at contodopress, and I would be happy to help.
This is what Entrepreneur Fest is all about. And this is also what our Latina Fest that we founded is all about. It's about Latinas helping Latinas, because we can all use a helping hand. And I commend you on your publishing company, that you are doing so much in such a short time. Okay. This has not been, you've not been around for 20 years like we have, but you've done so much during that time. So congratulations. I admire what you do.
Thank you so much, Belle. It's a kind of like, it takes a team. It takes people that have been helping me along the way, including you with Latin Heat, publishing some of my releases. So I really appreciate that. And I've noticed that it is a Latino community that has helped me along the way. It's been Latina librarians, Latina educators that have noticed that these books are needed. So our community needs to keep on helping each other, because that's how we will grow and that's how we will keep rising.
Yes. And with that, let's continue our day of other women helping the upcoming women to do and thrive and to be the success that they will be. So let's keep going.
Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me, don't leave me. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me, don't leave me. Take me to your arms and never leave me, don't leave me. Tell me you want to follow me.
These are uncertain times, but this isn't a time to give up. 2020 census is here, and more people counted means more money for the Eastside families for the next 10 years.
Together, we can build stronger schools for our future, more affordable housing for our families, and better healthcare for us all.
It is important to count every person in your household, from babies to grandparents, from undocumented immigrants to citizens, because our future depends on who is counted today.
El este cuenta. Cuenta conmigo.
Cuenta conmigo.
"2020 has brought with it so many challenges, but also hope."
Yes, history is being made right in front of our eyes, because a woman of color, Kamala Harris, became the first Black and South Asian woman to be on a presidential ticket for a major political party.
And her parents were immigrants too, just like so many of us here at Entrepreneur Fest. But whatever your political preference is, make your voice count. Vote. Who knows? One day, one of us can also run for president.
Take a peek at a new riveting documentary about why your vote matters.
If the power of the right to vote was truly made available to everyone in America, it would change the future of this nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stacey Abrams!
When I started running for governor, we anticipated that voter suppression was going to be instrumental in Brian Kemp's campaign, and we were right.
We've been in line for 5 hours.
They said, "You've already voted." Looks like several days ago. No, I would have remembered that.
Thousands of people were told no and didn't have the authority to demand better.
These lines are insane, with precinct consolidation, non-training of local election officials.
I knew something had gone horribly wrong. The system that is supposed to protect our democracy didn't work the way it was supposed to.
States implement voter suppression laws all across the country.
Things like new voter ID laws
purging. You're knocked off the roll. Gerrymandering.
Changing the voting boundaries.
Ohio is a use it or lose it state.
In the United States, the right to vote is the only right you can lose simply for not using it.
Jim Crow 2.0. That's what we're saying. We've got a lot of work to do.
When we started as a country,
6% of people were eligible to vote. There's still forces that are determined to keep citizens from voting.
Unless we fight for the right to vote, our democracy is put at risk.
The fight over voting rights is ultimately about power.
The states have figured out how to stop African Americans, Hispanics, Asian Americans, the young, and the poor from voting.
history is never a straight line. It's always a fight.
I will not concede because the erosion of our democracy is not right.
We try to make history. The vote matters.
You belong. You have value.
In anticipation of the 2020 U.S. presidential election, the powerful and vivid Amazon Studios documentary, All In, The Fight for Democracy, examines the often overlooked, yet the insidious issue of intentional voter suppression, blocking ballots, intimidating voters, and spreading misinformation which ultimately undermines our democracy.
The film interweaves personal experiences with current activism and historical insight to expose a problem that has corrupted our democracy from the very beginning.
All In, The Fight for Democracy is directed by Oscar-nominated and Emmy-winning filmmaker Liz Garbus and Oscar and Emmy-nominated filmmaker Lisa Cortez, and produced by Garbus, Cortez, Academy Award-winning producer Dan Kogan, and Stacey Abrams. And today we have the pleasure of having Lisa Cortez here on ENTREPRENEURFest. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
We are so happy to have you.
I really want to say that I loved the documentary. It was so heartfelt. I really responded and learned so much from it. And with just over 70 days until Election Day, the issue that affects every single American is to freely exercise their constitutional right to vote. And this documentary examined that, which makes it a very timely and illuminating documentary. Can you talk about the background on how this got put together?
Yes, so the genesis of All In started with Stacey Abrams and her team looking for partners to tell this story. A uniquely American story. You know, the Constitution starts out with "we the people," but from the inception of this country to the days that we live in now, we see that we the people and encompassing everyone has been such an intense struggle and fight. And so Stacey Abrams connected with the team at Story Syndicate, led by Dan Kogan and Liz Garbus, and they invited me to join them on this journey.
Amazing journey. And the main focus of All In is, of course, is our country's long history of voter suppression. Tell us how it's still manifesting itself today in 2020.
Well, you know, one of the things that we say in the film is that the past is prologue for the present day. Mm-hmm. And so there are cases in the past where it was a literacy test that were given to people to see if people of color would be allowed to vote. This not only affected African Americans, it affected Asian Americans, Latin Americans, and the same tactics are being used now. And so whether it is stricter voter ID laws, the closing of polling locations and moving them miles away, whether it is voter purging. These are tools that keep getting retooled to be used as a boundary in accessing the vote.
Right, right. And the documentary begins with the 2018 governor's election race, where Democrat Stacey Abrams fought to become the first Black governor in the United States, and she ultimately lost against a Republican, Brian Kemp. And what was the significance of starting and beginning the documentary there and then delving into all of the issues that you've mentioned?
Well, Stacey's run to be the first Black female governor was emblematic of the history, but it also showcased the weaponization of voter suppression tactics. So it's a storytelling device where we have an individual story that then allows us to step into the broader history.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, I learned so much from this documentary. I've been a journalist for over 25 years, and I still learned so much. So many crevices of information, of things that I wasn't aware of. For example, one of the issues addressed was Florida's Amendment 4, the Voting Rights Restoration for Felons Initiative. Please explain what it is for those people, you know, for those of us that haven't really been too familiar. We're here in California. This happened in Florida. And what this could mean for future debates over felon voting rights.
Sure. Amendment 4 focuses on the ability of our returning citizens who have served their sentences and should be allowed to vote. In Florida, there was a tremendous impediment, and Amendment 4 allowed for returning citizens to be able to vote again. But what is happening currently is that all of the past fines and restitution has to be resolved until these citizens have the right to vote again.
Mm-hmm. There's so many obstacles that are being put up to prevent people from voting, to discourage people from voting. And your documentary sure brings that all to light. You know, the closing of the polling places, the gerrymandering, and all of this, would you say is likely to support one political group over the other?
Unfortunately, what we are seeing is that it is being, you know, weaponized. And, you know, historically, right, the people on the margins, all of us, right, women, people of color, it's been weaponized against us by one party, you know, if we look at the long arc of history. And now, increasingly so, it is weaponized against us by another. But, you know, in talking about history, one thing I wanted to go back and mention about Amendment 4 is that there's a historical precedent with vagrancy laws that are enacted, you know, at the turn of the century, where people of color could just be waiting outside. They can be arrested. They can be sent to a work camp. Then they lose the right to vote. And so this weaponization has continuously had a target on our voice and on our right to exercise the enfranchisement.
Yes, these definitely disproportionately affect those communities that you mentioned, disadvantaged communities, communities of color, et cetera. And right now there's so much confusion. So many voters are completely confused. They're deciding if they should vote by mail, where they should cast their ballot, if they should wait in long lines. What are the challenges ahead for voters under the lingering threat of COVID-19?
Well, Naibe, you said it perfectly. It's about the access and how you are going to access the vote. And so, you know, voting during COVID, during this pandemic, if you can register and vote by mail, I think that we need to advocate for that, for the safety and health of our communities. It is, you know,
we have to make certain that we're registered. Don't assume that you are. Don't assume that your polling location hasn't changed. Do not assume anything.
Right. You know, I learned so much from this documentary. You know, we hear these words, these buzzwords on television and the news, voter suppression, voter fraud, and you just kind of think maybe it's the same thing, but you really, at least I really didn't really find out a lot about what the difference is and how they're suppressing the vote until I saw this documentary. A lot of the history also in the documentary was so amazing and so compelling. It puts everything into view of how it's been carried on from way back when the Constitution was written up to now. And the best part I loved about the documentary is that you expose all of this information. You give us all this information, but not only that, you give us what we need to do so that we can make sure that our vote counts. I love that you tell us exactly what to do in the documentary, and the documentary is so amazing. It's really brought me to tears about some of the injustices that were committed in the past. So I want to congratulate you, and I love the fact that you have all of these people telling you exactly what to do. So everyone at the end, you're going to know exactly what to do once you know the problem.
Well, we hope that people will see this documentary not as spinach, not as something that's good for you, but as something that is essential for you to know about, that you will be mad, that you will go and vote, that you will make certain that your abuela and your tita and everybody in your family is registered, that you will help them get to the polls, that you will help your community. Because we know that voting voting turnout is the best remedy to voter suppression. We have to show up, we have to show out, we have to complete the census, because that is what a democracy is about having representation. Our communities are hurting. Our communities have been marginalized and have received historically the short end of the stick while we have built this country. And so our vote has power.
The film not only makes you aware of all of this historical voter suppression, but it also offers so many resources. Where can people find those resources that you offer for the audience?
We have a comprehensive website and social impact campaign. If you go to allinthefilm.com, it has all the information on state by state, how to find out if you're registered, what to do in your community, and what to do if you go to the polls and you have any issues at all. So allinthefilm.com.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lisa. I did want to get a little personal with you. You are an Afro-Latina and you started your career in music. And I'm sure our audience would love to know a little bit more about your career trajectory and how you became a filmmaker whose productions have received over 70 international awards and nominations. What is that story?
Well, it's the story of a first generation Colombiana, and who was filled with a lot of love by my family. I went into the music industry after graduating from Yale, and ultimately found that I wanted a bigger platform to tell stories and to make the invisible visible. And filmmaking is truly a place where a picture is worth 1,000 words. So whether it's a film like Precious that I produce, or this, call to arms, All In, the fight for democracy, I am excited about shining the light on the tremendous contributions and accomplishments of people of color in taking the power structure from a pyramid and turning it into a circle where there is universal access for all of us.
Lisa, Yes, and you are a perfect example of what this festival is all about. It's Entrepreneur Fest of Latina women using their gifts, their creative gifts, to give back to the world. So we really appreciate everything you're doing. It's amazing. We need more people like you, and we need to see this film. When does it come out? Where can people watch it?
The film will be available September 9th theatrically, and then September 18th on Amazon Prime.
Woohoo! We'll be watching.
Yes, that's right.
Have a
Thank you
watch
so much,
party
Lisa.
with your friends.
Watch party. That is a great idea. And then is there a hashtag that we can also add to our watch party?
All
in
I'm like, the website,
I know.
It is All In for Voting.
All in for voting. Let's have a big watch party, all in for voting. These elections are crucial and they can really change the tide in our country. So we really need to make our voice count.
And we invite all the audience, have your own watch party. Let's have 1,000, 1,000,000 watch parties.
Thank you, Lisa, for an excellent documentary that exposes our right to vote that continues to be under siege.
Gracias.
Gracias. Ciao.
Thank you, Belle and Naibe, for having me here at Entrepreneur Fest. And yes, it is so important to go out and vote. I know that this event will inspire so many Latinas to think big and follow their dreams. I spoke with Andrea Barrera from Gracious Home, who did exactly that, and now she's thriving.
My name is Andrea, and I am the founder of Gracious Home. I got tired of waiting for someone to create a brand of skincare products that were gonna incorporate the medicinal side of the cannabis plant because it was so new. I had already studied it. I studied, the effects of CBD, and I was really surprised that at that time, 2 years ago, there wasn't really a lot of products that were promoted for skincare. It was mostly, for pain relief, and that's kind of where it ended. And so I was always just really curious why we weren't taking, these cannabinoids and using them to repair our skin, to generate new cell growth, which it does naturally. Right before I started this business was in neuroscience and mental health. So I was working as a supervisor up in Northern California for like 10 years. And I also worked at a lab, and so I would study brain waves pretty much. During that time, I was just very stressed. It was a very high stress job. And I started seeing the effects of it on my skin. So a lot of cystic acne, terrible breakouts, not just that, but just my overall, I guess, wellness wasn't where it used to be. During my travels in Colombia, that's when I started really looking into and learning about just holistic and natural remedies and a lot about plant medicine, and that kind of just opened up a whole new world for me. I wanted to be close to my family, not only for their support, but also so they could understand it more. They weren't completely convinced that this is, the career they wanted to see me in, especially because it involved cannabis. And I think with a lot of Latino families, it's kind of like a big deal, a big taboo still, and not understanding the plant and not fully seeing the benefit. 2.5 to 3 weeks right before the pandemic, Saks Fifth Avenue picked up Gracious Home, and I became the first Latina in the cannabis space at Saks Fifth Avenue. Best advice that I have is start before you feel ready. And I think that honestly got me to where I am today, because I tell myself I probably wouldn't have even started if I was waiting to feel ready.
It's never too late to follow your passion. Now, here's more from Entrepreneur Fest.
So welcome back. So we have a wonderful person who just started her business. Her name is Lorena Alvarado, and she's going to tell us all about it. Lorena, Limonada LA, what is it all about?
Well, Limonada LA comes from my mother's maiden name, which is Limon. And through that, I knew that I always wanted to do something with it. And one of my favorite drinks is lemonade. So why not have it be Limonada LA?
And you also started the company. You also built the website. You also curated everything. Tell us about that startup.
Well, my inaugural was at the very first LATINAFest, which is so much fun and amazing. Thank you for having me again. I tried to create the website. I had a really hard time, but right now, during the furlough time, I was able to learn, and I did create my own website. So if there's any mistakes, send me an email, let me know, and I'll get back to you.
So you are starting a whole new business during these times of the pandemic. What is the hardest thing that you found to get you going? What was the hardest thing about that?
Well, the hardest thing was creating the website. And still, even though I have already created it, there's still so much to learn. There's so many things about a website, and I'm still learning every day. And I have the time for it right now. So I'm really learning about creating websites.
So why did you want to go into business? I mean, you had a full-time job. Why did you want to go into business for yourself?
Well, it's always nice when you are your own boss. So here at Limonada LA, I consider myself the main squeezer. And again, there's no one's life is perfect. And, there's a saying out there that it's, when life gives you lemons. And of course, you use that and you create something even better. So with that, I thought, let me create clothing for men, women, jewelry, accessories, and, something that's going to make you happy or put a smile on your face.
Okay, well, good. You just mentioned your products. Let's see some of them.
Well, as you can see, I have, regular t-shirts. We got the baseball shirts. We have sleeveless shirts. And if you go online, you'll be able to see some jewelry that we have. And I'm a dog lover, so you'll be able to see some charms that have little doggies on them, little cats on them, inspirational words on them as well. I have accessories like fanny packs, computer covers, stickers, mugs, you name it. So go on there. There's a variety of things that I hope that you'll like. And hopefully it does bring a smile to your face.
So how do you go about starting a store and gathering all of these products? Have you been looking? Have you been curating clothing that you love and that you want to put your brand on it?
Yeah, I do. What I look at is, what would I wear? So I know that I would wear baseball shirts. I know I would wear regular t-shirts. I know that I would wear sleeveless, racerbacks. And, it's summertime right now. So what type of bathing suits or bikinis would I wear? And also, the kids, family, friends that I know, what would they like to wear? So there's onesies for infants. There's also the baseball shirts for little kids and leggings to go work out. So it's basically, what would I wear? There's nothing on my website that I wouldn't use or I wouldn't wear. So that's really what inspires me, is what I would wear.
And tell me, what is your Latina superpower?
My Latina superpower, I guess, being a squeezer. Giving hugs.
Okay. Okay, so now everyone wants to know, because your clothing is really, really nice. Everyone, you need to go to her website. It is amazing because she's just showing you a little bit of it. So limonadala.com. And now tell us, when they go, are you going to be giving a LatinaFest discount or an ENTREPRENEURFest discount for everyone?
I am. So for those tuning in today, thank you so much. Type in LatinaFest and you'll be able to get 10% off your entire order.
Okay, you heard everyone. Let's go check out these wonderful clothing lines because they're really, really cool. I saw some other really cool stuff. She does a lot of designs with a lot of little lemons on it, and they're really wonderful. So 10% discount, right, Lorena?
Right. One more thing. I have a specially made lip balm, and so I do carry them with me. If you see me, mention Limonada LA, and I'll give you a lip balm.
Well, you heard it here on Entrepreneur Fest. We want to thank Lorena for joining us today. And we have a lot more. So thank you, Lorena. And we will be checking limonadala.com.
And now we have another amazing vendor here at Entrepreneur Fest, Aide Alvarez. She is the owner of Fusion Kids Co. Hi, how are you?
Good morning. How's it going, everybody?
It's so exciting. It's such an amazing day. Aide, tell me a little bit about your company.
So I started a few years ago, actually about 3 years ago or so. I started as a vendor just here in our community. I'm actually from San Diego over here, and started out vending in Barrio Logan. And then what happened is I got pregnant, I had kids, and as I started shopping for my kids, I didn't really see a market for kids items that targeted our cultural background. And so that's when I decided to start screen printing, and not screen printing at that point, but just start making my own items for my kids. So that's when the idea just started flourishing, and I started doing that, I started literally with one item.
It's all about shopping today. So show us what you got. Show us all of the amazing products that you have.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll start off with my first one. This was one of my first ones. This is my Traviesa but cute romper. It's super cute. It's adjustable, and it grows with your little one. It has stretch on the legs.
And what's the price point on that?
So my prices usually range anywhere from $21 to $30. So my items are pretty reasonably priced because I want to make sure that whoever is interested can afford it and purchase it.
Right. What else do you got?
Okay, so the next one is a very popular one. This is the Selena romper. Same thing right here. So it adjusts and it grows with your little one. And all of these rompers that I'm going to be showing to you are normally from ages 3 months all the way to 24 months. I also, since I am from San Diego, I created, our San Diego Padres. And it's available. And we can't go wrong with having our LA Dodgers as well, because, we're in California, and this one's by your LA Chingoncita right here. Yes.
So cute. So talk to us about, where do you get all of these beautiful rompers made?
So I have a manufacturer who I work with directly, but then all my screen printing, my ideas, those are all mine. So I put them together, and I go ahead and meet up with my screen printer, and he just screen prints my designs and ideas onto my rompers.
And is this your full-time job, or is this your side hustle?
This is my side hustle. This is my side hustle that allows me to be creative.
Awesome. What do you do like Monday through Friday? What's your full-time job? And the reason I'm asking is because there's a lot of women out there that do have full-time jobs, but do want to create their side business or side hustle, but they're intimidated and they feel that if they have a job, they can't do it. So you are an example of someone that has a job, but is able to have a side business. So what is that job?
So my job is a full-time teaching job. I teach third grade. So yes, and I honestly believe that when you find something that you really, really are passionate about, you find time to do it, regardless of what situation you are in. Like right now, I have 2 little babies at home. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, but I make time for this because this is what makes me very happy. So I think just if you're passionate about something, there's always time for it.
Right, definitely. So what other products besides rompers do you have? If you can show us some of your products.
So the other products that I have are also, so I recently started making for older kids, because initially I had only started making clothing for children from 3 months to 24 months, but I started getting a lot of requests. Can you make that in a bigger size 3, 4, 5? So I went ahead and started doing the same designs, but just on bigger little things like tops like this. So this is our Tula top, and it's just like this. I also have clothing for boys. And so, for example, with this whole crisis that's going on, I recently made this one back in March, and it's Tupac. I mean, Tupac is very important in California, and he's an important guy. And it just basically says, keep your head up, to keep us up and going in these times of hardship. Another one here is for boys, is my Playroom Champ. So it's available in sizes 6 to 3. Yes, and it has little knee pads, for little luchadores.
So we have a really good surprise for everyone that's watching that loves your products. You actually are offering a discount, right? So what that discount is and how people can get it?
Yes, definitely. So on the date today during LATINAFest, we will be offering 15% off your total purchase, no minimum. And the code that you will be using for the discount is LATINAFest.
LATINAFest. Awesome. So go out and get your Fusion Kids wear. They're so cute, and you'll be supporting a Latina entrepreneur. Really quick, where can people find you? What's your website? What's your Instagram?
Sure. So my website is www.fusionkidswithaz.co.com. And then my Instagram is Fusion Kids Co. All one word.
Awesome. Well, Aida, thank you so much for this. We wish you much success. Let's support each other. I really am so happy and proud of everything that you're doing. It's really cute and innovative. And thank you so much for being here on ENTREPRENEURFest.
No, thank you, ladies, so much. And I hope to see you guys all soon. Thank you. Bye.
For those of you just joining, my name is Maggie Ramos. I am the founder and CEO of Lacio Professional Hair Care. We are a manufacturing company who empowers women in their daily lives by providing quality products that restores health back into the hair, manageability, and a frizz-free lifestyle. So I've been receiving this one question lately that has forced me to really dig deep within myself to find an honest answer. And to be honest, that's not always an easy thing to do. And I often wonder why. Why is that? Is it a fear of appearing weak? And if so, to who? It's amazing how much pressure we put on ourselves as women and the pressure we put on other women. You know, that silent, judgy thing we do that gets even louder when we look at the person in the mirror. All right, so the question is, how do you stay empowered during the tough times? Let's take a deeper look into the word empower. It's the authority and power over something to make someone feel strong and confident, especially in controlling their own lives. So to stay empowered would mean to remain strong and confident. But it's funny because how do you remain so strong and confident during these crazy times with COVID, politics, the economy? That's a big thing to ask. I start small and personal. I remain consistent where I can. My family, they empower me. The unconditional love of my boys is what truly keeps me strong during these tough times. I mean, of course, mama bear instinct comes out and I want to protect them and we tend to worry, but I know I cannot pour into them unless I am truly whole. My faith keeps me grounded, replenished, and sane. I mean, during these times of turmoil, it is my absolute go-to to really rebuild myself up and knowing that I'm absolutely going to get through these times because this too shall pass. And it is a major, major contribution to how I'm able to overcome the tough times. My passion, my business as a company who manufactures to both salon professionals and retail, we were greatly impacted by this shutdown. And I really had to dig deep into my confidence level because the question of how do you go on during these times creeped in. And it was knowing that I had a strong foundation that I could continue on and overcome the shutdown. And we did. And I really truly do owe that all to starting and building the company on a strong foundation. What I found in digging deep within myself is having a heart of gratitude through it all. It really sparks joy and hope and overflows onto others. And in turn, you find those people being the ones to help lift you up at times. So that was really important for me to find. So I remain empowered during the tough times by digging deep, by zoning in and remaining consistent. Practicing that heart of gratitude I talked about truly helps. And receiving positivity wherever I can get it because to be honest, not every day is going to be a good day. As women, I think we need to be more generous with our vulnerabilities. And I know it's hard for some of us, and I speak from experience, but what I do realize is when we are vulnerable, we allow the opportunity for other women to come in and pour into us and help uplift us during those times, right? And it's when we share our story that we're really able to empower other women. What is the point of having a platform and experience if you cannot share it with other people to get by the tough times, right? So I encourage you to take a moment and think about how you can empower someone else today, tomorrow, next month, and really put it into practice as a lifestyle, because we are so powerful and united, we are unstoppable. And I think that we need to show the world how we can do this living in the tough times together and united and bonded as powerful women. So thank you so much for having me. God bless.
Well, ladies, I have the pleasure to introduce you to Aurea Montes Rodriguez, Executive Vice President of the Community Coalition. Thank you for joining us, Aurea.
Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about our work at Community Coalition.
Yes, and I'm sure a lot of the ladies who are watching today are already familiar with Community Coalition, but tell us about your history and the work that you're up to right now.
Well, you know, I'm so proud to work at Community Coalition, which was founded in 1990 by now U.S. Representative Karen Bass, who's also the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, and who many of us saw during the vetting process for the vice presidential nominee to Joe Biden, along with a number of other incredible women. Congressmember Bass founded Community Coalition to deal with the impacts of the crack epidemic. And, you know, the organization focuses on lifting up the voices and the leadership of Black and Brown people as we collectively work to fight systemic racism. So we were built as a Black-Brown organization, intergenerational in all of the work that we do. And we really pride ourselves in knowing firsthand that it's the people closest to the issues who know what is best for our community. Yes.
And we've watched a lot of people who maybe have been in this work for a very long time, others for the first time. We watched this massive global Black Lives Matter movement explode following George Floyd's murder. And what a lot of people out there were saying is this is not an isolated incident, and a desire to see this conversation continue to move forward. So can you talk to us about how you are continuing to do that work, even when there are no demonstrations happening?
Well, so, you know, for us, the beautiful support that we've seen for the movement for Black lives is really a result of decades of work that the leaders who have been leading Black Lives Matter have been doing to bring attention to the injustices, the police brutality and assault on Black and Brown communities. The murder of George Floyd was not an isolated incident. We see the murders of Black and Brown men and youth, but also of women, Breonna Taylor, Vanessa Guillen, who took, you know, Breonna Taylor's murderers have not been charged, right? Vanessa Guillen they have not gotten justice for their families. And so, you know, in our work, we organize residents to lift up the fact that we have to invest in communities and not criminalize the people that live in our community.
Yeah, and you know, your foundation is this foundation of a coalition of Black and Brown communities. Why is it so important to build these intersectional coalitions?
Well, you know, the type of support that we have seen right now in coalitions Black and Brown is really incredible. In LA City, we have been supporting the Black Lives Matter LA, who have been calling for a defunding of law enforcement. And for the first time in recent history, the LA Police Department had a decrease in their budget by $150 million. And a coalition of 20 organizations that includes African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans, Asian Pacific Islanders. We're calling for an investment in over-police communities in healing circles to support interventionists who keep our communities safe in youth services and youth development. At the LAUSD, we've been working with Students Deserve and Black Lives Matter LA, and we had a major victory of getting the LAUSD championed by school board member Monica Garcia to decrease spending in school police by 35%, $25 million. And the other important part of that victory was shifting the dollars to support Black student achievement. And for us, that's a big deal, because if we're talking about race and racism, we don't want to begin criminalizing our boys and girls at a young age. We want to talk about student achievement and invest in resources that are going to prepare them for college and to create more opportunities for them.
And speaking of young people, there are young people who have maybe been engaged in this type of work for a few years, but there are also a lot of young people who are stepping into it for the first time. What is your advice to young leaders, to young people who want to get involved, and what are the resources Community Coalition is offering in that regard?
So, Community Coalition has been organizing young people since 1991. And when we look at where these young people are leading in education, in public office, in labor, we are so proud of the work that we're doing that I can just see all of these young people who are attending actions and protests for the first time. They need to get involved in organizations like Community Coalition. We're actually building a Center for Community Organizing that is going to focus on building up a school, an organizing school that's going to build a cadre of activists and organizers, and also do civic engagement work, really preparing young people to run for public office, right? And to lead us, because the only way that we're going to stay committed to fighting white supremacy and addressing anti-Black racism is if we all commit to fighting this injustice over the next couple of years.
Well, thank you so much, Aurea, for that advice to young people and really to everyone who's watching, and for sharing the history of Community Coalition with us.
Thank you, Annabelle, and I hope that the LATINAFest is going to continues to be marvelous.
Thank you.
Ella se resiste, pero el mayordomo la toma por la fuerza y la asalta sexualmente.
Sexual harassment and sexual violence committed against farm worker women have been documented as widespread and persistent on America's farms.
¿Estás bien, María? Sí. ¿Segura?
Many victims of sexual violence and harassment avoid seeking help for fear of more violence, job loss, and deportation. Farm Worker Justice and Líderes Campesinos de California have partnered to produce a powerful educational training film, Breaking the Silence. Breaking the Silence realistically portrays a sexual assault against a female farm worker by a male supervisor during working hours on a California strawberry farm. The film reveals the power dynamics which facilitates supervisors preying on vulnerable farm worker women. Breaking the Silence then goes on to show farm worker women gaining knowledge and resources to help victims empower themselves and to reduce rape and harassment in the fields. There is much more to do to reach farm workers, to educate them about the actions they can take, and to mobilize resources to support farm worker women in their quest to prevent and remedy workplace sexual abuse. Breaking the Silence is directed by Bel Hernandez. All the actors are actual farm workers and activists collaborating with the nonprofit organization group Líderes Campesinas. Breaking the Silence will be part of a capacity building project. The project will employ a community mobilization model in which a diverse sector of the community will be convened and empowered to break the silence and confront sexual violence and harassment in the agricultural fields of America. To access the film Breaking the Silence, find information on how to conduct a screening, and obtain training materials, contact Farm Worker Justice at www.farmworkerjustice.org. You can also find the project on our Farm Worker Justice YouTube channel.
Well, our next entrepreneur is Zulema Rosas from Moniso. She is an amazing woman, hardworking. ¿Cómo estás? How are you?
Muy bien, hermosa. Mucho gusto de volvernos a ver ahora desde esta plataforma y feliz de la vida y agradecidas de poder estar participando ahora en esta nueva modalidad.
Sí, me encanta tu voz, Alejandra Guzmán, te han dicho, ¿verdad? Me imagino.
Muy norteña, muy norteña. Soy de Sonora, del norte de México, por lo tanto, no se puede ocultar el acento ni la voz tampoco.
Oh, buenísimo. Bueno, Zulema, platícanos de todos los productos que vendes en Moniso.
Bueno, pues primero que nada, nosotros empezamos con nuestra línea de playeras enfocadas al empoderamiento femenino. Como esta es una de ellas, chingona como mi madre. Esta es nuestra bebé, la verdad. Soy hija de mamá soltera, lo cual cuando lanzamos esta playera me llena de orgullo y es una de nuestras, es nuestra bestseller, se pudiera decir. También tenemos como esta, chulada. Chulada es una frase muy mexicana, muy sonorense, también muy norteña y por supuesto mexicanísima. Tenemos nuestra línea de playeras, tenemos también como nuestras tacitas, a ver, déjenme las capto bien.
Más chingona,
qué bonita.
Qué bonita.
Y tenemos varios estilos, tenemos esta también que dice Latina Poderosa.
Ajá. Muy bien.
Entonces, nosotros empezamos con nuestra línea de playeras en eventos como en pop-ups. El día de hoy, bendito Dios, y gracias al apoyo de todas nuestras clientas y de plataformas como ustedes, de eventos como pop-ups como ustedes, entre otros que nos han hecho el favor de permitirnos participar. El día de hoy tenemos nuestra tienda en Downtown LA. Estamos sobre la calle Santi, 943 Santi Street. Y aquí en la tienda vendemos ropa en general para todo tipo de mujer para ropa para el diario, ropa para oficina. Vendemos desde la talla small hasta 3X en todo, en nuestras playeras y en la ropa en general.
¿Y cuánto tiempo tienes con tu tienda brick and mortar, como le dicen en inglés?
Con la tienda en sí aquí vamos para un año apenas, un año, y si le restamos el tiempo que nos agarró la pandemia, pues no, ya perdí la cuenta de esta cuarentena, pero en sí con la tienda vamos para un año.
Wow.
Y que lanzamos la línea de playeras vamos para 3 años.
¿Y cómo te ha afectado la pandemia? Porque apenas acabaste de abrir tu tienda física. Porque antes nada más estabas, como dijiste, online o en pop-ups, ahora es una tienda física. ¿Cómo ha afectado COVID en tu negocio?
Pues ha afectado muchísimo porque, pues para empezar, afectó el tiempo que tuvimos que tener cerrados. Afectó de cierta forma en el aspecto de que pues estuvimos cerrados. Más sin embargo, le tengo que ser muy sincera y gracias a Dios y al apoyo de todas las mujeres que estamos en todo esto y de esta generación, he podido seguir sosteniendo nuestro sueño, porque no nada más es mío, es un sueño familiar de mi esposo, de mis hijas. Entonces, gracias al apoyo de tantas mujeres que son nuestras clientas y se convierten en nuestras amigas, gracias al apoyo de ellas, hemos podido seguir adelante. La comunidad nos está ayudando mucho, la verdad.
Y me encanta.
Gracias al apoyo de la comunidad.
Sí, me encanta tu outfit, muy fashion. ¿Tú eres diseñadora también?
Somos diseñadoras de algunas prendas, no todo, la verdad no todo, pero algunas sí. Algunas sí son nuestros propios estilos, no todos. Tenemos diseños de varias otras mujeres. Aquí mismo dentro de la tienda de Monizo les hemos dado el espacio a otras mujeres que van empezando con sus propias líneas, ya sean de accesorios, de pestañas, de maquillajes. Deseo y le pido a Dios que nos permita poder abrir más espacios para las mujeres que vamos empezando como yo y como todas las demás que lo hemos hecho así.
Claro que sí, hay muchas mujeres que nos están viendo ahorita que quieren abrir su propio negocio. ¿Qué consejo les puedes dar tú que ya estuviste en esos caminos?
Pues yo les diría que la base de todo es soñar, no rendirse, creer en nuestros propios sueños y pues otra de las bases principales pues es el ahorro. Ahorrar para poder llevar a cabo nuestros sueños, pero no abandonar nuestros sueños. No importa el tiempo que nos tardemos, pero no abandonarlos.
Claro que sí. Y bueno, tienes unos descuentos buenísimos para las personas que nos están escuchando. ¿Y cuál necesitan un código para no nada más entra al web?
Nada más que nos digan que están de LATINAFest y el descuento se les va a hacer.
¿Y en línea cuál es tu website?
En línea estamos www.monizoboutique.com y en Instagram es @monizoboutique.
Perfecto. ¿Algún otro producto o cosa que nos quisieras mostrar antes de despedirnos?
Pues muchas gracias por el espacio una vez más. Quisiera ver si pudiéramos darles les quiero mostrar un pequeño recorrido aquí por la tienda. No sé si se pudiera.
Vamos a ver si, a ver, danos el recorrido así rapidín.
Mira, aquí tenemos la ropa en general que vendemos.
Ajá.
Tenemos todos.
Tienes muchos vestidos como para cuando sales a...
Aquí tenemos lo que son las playeras.
Ah, mira. Todos los diferentes dichos.
Así es. Estas son nuestras bebecitas y que la verdad que hasta el día de hoy nos siguen sosteniendo y la verdad procuramos mucho que sea muy, muy buena calidad. Es lo más importante, la calidad de la tela es lo que más nos preocupamos, en la calidad de todo, de la ropa en general, de las playeras, de todo. Es lo que más nos preocupamos.
Así es. Pues muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias y por favor no dejen de participar y va a estar padrísimo el evento, los esperamos a todos y les aseguro que les va a encantar porque va a haber muchísimos vendedores talentosísimos donde podrán encontrar muchísimas cosas muy padres.
Así es. Pues muchas gracias, Zulema.
Gracias, Dios me los bendiga, muchas gracias.
Okay.
Well, here we are. We have our next guest. And we are here with Jeff Mahoney, the CEO of Neft, an ultra premium vodka, just my kind of drink. Welcome, Jeff. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Belle. How are you today?
Oh, we're good. We're happening with this all this day with all these entrepreneurs, and right away, I want to right at the top, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Neft for coming on board and supporting our mission to help entrepreneurs. I know you do a lot of supporting of communities, and I want to first thank you for doing that. We wouldn't be here without you and our other supporters. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, and thank you for the work that you're doing. It's amazing.
I just wanted to get into it because I'd like to know, what is the genesis of Neft? There's a lot of vodkas, but yours is unique in many ways that we will discuss. But what was the genesis of Neft?
Well, the genesis of Neft, as it stands in the United States, was to find a way, from a company standpoint, to empower the people around us to actually become part of the communities that we are serving or wanted to serve. We come from the specific belief that talent is basically delivered, or I should say, distributed evenly amongst the genders, amongst the ethnic backgrounds, et cetera, but opportunity isn't. And so we needed a vehicle to follow through with how we could present opportunities in a more equal manner. And NEF was born from that. What can we do now with a company that can potentially get attention for those that we want to empower, in this case specifically women? But we needed something that was more than just that ideal. So born from that was, let's craft something unique, flavorful, and something that we could stand behind as a premium or ultra premium product. So it had to have a great taste. And it had to be attention seeking in a little bit, right? So we want to actually bring attention to the product, and thus was born the barrel. And neft itself actually in Russian and in several other languages means oil. And so you'll see an analogy between the oil and the barrel itself. Weekly, almost monthly for sure, we give to charities on a nationwide basis that are impactful in that arena, with the goal very simply to sort of put a voice to a portion of our community that doesn't necessarily have that voice that they should have. And when we experience that talent that was distributed equally, but not the opportunity distributed equally, we find that together we're able to grow significantly more than we'd otherwise do on our own. So you wouldn't believe this, but I come from a Hispanic background. In fact, my mother was 100% Mayan.
Oh, really?
Yes, although I don't necessarily look like that because my father was a European 6'5" Caucasian man. I did grow up in that Hispanic environment. And as you know, it is a matriarchal society. And there's a reason for that. And I've embraced those. My mother has instilled that quality in me. And so it's all about finding a voice for those that don't necessarily have that voice. I always come back to that because women are an important facet in our society, in our framework, in our family. They should be important in business as well.
And look at now, we got a woman running for vice president of the United States. That's how women rock, right?
That's it, right? See, that's what I'm talking about. The talent is equally distributed, but not the opportunity. But now we're starting to see that. And that's what's really powerful to us as a company is this crisis, if you will, that the world is embracing, but it's also creating an opportunity for us to come together to unite. Actually create a community where together we can create solutions where all of us can rise. And that's something that we haven't seen before.
Right. And you have been, during the pandemic, giving to certain charities to help them out. Talk to us about a little bit of who you've been partnering with lately.
So we've been partnering with groups that can feed individuals who can't feed themselves or can't afford to feed themselves. We've been partnering with groups that are empowering women in a variety of different arenas. Sometimes it's about helping women, maybe a battered shelter, for example. Sometimes it's about children and what we can do there, because we believe that there's a new generation coming, and that generation has to be taught that there is an equal distribution of talent and that they should support the women in their life, because it's more than just the frameworks and the family environment that they create. It's the opportunity to hear a logic that we haven't heard before, to hear an intelligence that we haven't heard before, to hear an experience that we haven't heard before. And that does start with children. So often we work with children's groups in educating them and working with charities that will help educate them, but primarily working with women. Recently, as a limited resource company, we've donated to some specific single mothers who have had some challenges in their work environment. And it's really about creating as much opportunity as we can with the tools that we have. And so
you're with a mission of unity and helping communities. That's what I
Yes. That's what we are. So our fundamental goal is, as a for-cause company, what are the causes that we can get behind and the ones that are going to be most impactful in society today and tomorrow? And that's where the children and the next generation come in. This is where women come in, because that voice is one typically of love and of caring and of warmth. It comes with a significant amount of intelligence and rationality, but it's tempered with that love that we don't see generally in the male population, to be frank. And so there has to be a voice in that community, in the family, in the business that can permeate. Otherwise, we're not going to really change things. We're just going to be talking about things. But until we have women permeating all throughout the infrastructures that support our society and our communities, we're not going to see significant change. So that's our belief.
You guys think. I like the way you guys think. So let's also get into, can you show us some of the little barrels? They're so cute.
Absolutely. So we have various form factors.
One in black and one in white. And
one in black and the white, but the community barrel, the pride barrel, is the focus point. And I think where this comes is it's kind of our nod to the idea that there is a beautiful variety in this world, and that we need to embrace that variety. We need to embrace individualism. We need to also find common ground where we can come together and create those communities that will find those solutions. And this is just our nod to that. We can't do a whole lot, but we can always make decisions where along the way we are propagating that message. And this is just a simple mechanism that helps us to propagate that message. And frankly, it acts as a reminder, I think, to a lot of the folks at NEFT to make sure that we are an authentic company, that we are a premium company, that we are vulnerable in nature, and that we're willing to go out and champion these types of causes that are important to all of us. Because again, back to an earlier statement, it doesn't matter whether it's business or life, we all grow when we're together. And this is our simple representation of that.
So now let's talk about the product inside. Well, you know, a lot of ladies, and I'm one of them, love our dirty martinis. And I know I've had a martini, but I've never been able to make it because I just know how to drink it. I don't know how to make it. So you are going to send us, and we're going to see how to make a dirty martini right now. Okay, now I have the recipe. I am going to make me one killer dirty martini. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for supporting Latina entrepreneurs. Thank you for supporting women. You are the kind of brand that there should be more of, because you are about community, your community, everyone.
Yeah.
Community.
We appreciate this, and we definitely appreciate the work that you're doing, Belle, and your organization. It is so fundamental to the change that the world requires.
Thank you for joining us on ENTREPRENEURFest, and we wish everyone to come together. Like they say, unity. We need unity, and NEFT is all about unity and giving to community. So, gracias.
Gracias.
Mire el agua, fresh sparkling water. Now I feel refreshed, and you will too. Mire el agua, get your fizz.
The census counts everyone in this country, and that really means everyone. A hospital patient, yes, that person counts. Newborn Benjamin, yeah, little Ben now counts. Two families that live in the same house, sure thing, they all count. Or David, who's living in his cousin Daniel's garage, he also counts. The census counts everyone to make things better for all of us.
We're living in uncertain times, and you can help shape the future of our country right now. There are 3 things you can do. First, complete the 2020 census. You can fill it out online or by mail. Your response is confidential. Your citizenship status will not be asked, and your participation will bring resources and representation to your community. Second, if you're eligible, become a U.S. citizen to fully take part in our democracy. You can start the process online using your phone or computer. Third, if you're a citizen, become a voter by registering today and use your voice on Election Day to speak up for your values and your community. By doing these 3 things, you are moving us forward today and into the future. And you can encourage your family and friends to do the same. Because we stand stronger as a community when we all support each other. To learn more, go to adelanteunidos.com.
Now I'm excited to present another fabulous entrepreneur. Her name is Katie Gonzalez from Slime Gets Lit. Hello, Katie.
Hi.
So the name says it all. Slime is still a big hit, right? With kids and even with adults.
Yes.
Why do you think people love slime so much? And show us also some of the slime that you sell.
I think people love slime so much because it is therapeutic. It kind of helps people just calm down and also have something to do when, there's no electronics around or they have some free time. So some of the products that I do have today, this one is called Blueberry Crunch.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like a crunchy slime. And another one I have is called Rainbow Ice. And this one on the top, it also has like a bunch of glitter. Super pretty. I also have this here. And this one is super small.
Yeah.
But like, it's because these are for like the party favors we do. So you can put these in like goodie bags, but it's still super fun to play with.
Right.
And they're all scented. Like every single product they have here is scented pretty much like its name. Like this one here, it's called Nerds.
Do you put the scent in or does it already come? Do you make the slime?
Yeah, I make everything like pretty much by myself. And I also scent it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have any Latino inspired scents like horchata or anything like that?
Not at the moment, but I could pretty much do anything. Like if someone were like, "Hey, can you make a certain slime?" Then yes, I do customize slimes. Like this one, it's called Icy.
Yeah.
And it's scented just like an icy. And then this one is my like best seller. It's called Bubblegum.
Wow.
And this one here, it's a butter slime. So it comes right out, and then you're able to just kind of play with it. It's super soft, and it smells just like bubblegum.
How did
it also feels like it too.
How did you get into slime?
There's just certain recipe that I have. Like you just need glue, that's for sure. And then you need like activator. Yeah.
But how did you get into it? Did you just start playing with slime one day and then?
Oh no! So what happened was I was actually in therapy for like a while, and my therapist kept telling me you need to find something like to cope with, and I was like, okay. She tried bubbles, and I didn't like that. She told me to write in a journal, didn't like that either. And then I started watching slime videos on YouTube, and I started making it, and it just changed my life. Like I'm not in therapy no more, and everything is just like better now.
So talk to us about the therapeutic effects of slime, because I would have never put those two together. I would have just never even thought of it. How is it therapeutic? In what way? How does it help people?
I think it helps people because just the texture, like feeling it, and then you're smelling it too, it just calms you down because it's so soft and it's just so fun to like move around, and especially the crunchy slime, it makes popping noises. So people find it satisfying.
I'm curious, can you demonstrate some of those popping noises? I want to hear what it sounds like. Do you have any of that you can show us?
Yeah, okay.
It's like you're a kid again almost, right? Where you start playing with the slime and you don't think about problems or other things. You're just concentrated on that one thing that you touch and feel and smell. But I can't wait to hear the crunchy because I'm sure it sounds good.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's hear it.
So when you first like open it, this one is funfetti. You want to kind of mix it up, And this is a semi foam, so it's not like how Nerds is where it's super crunchy, but this is pretty similar. So you want to just kind of do that a little bit, and then you just
Wow.
yeah.
That's really cool. And is that the crunch, that's like foam or what is that?
They're foam beads.
Foam beads. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you had your business?
Since I believe September.
Oh, wow. And how has it been going?
Well, I started with like 10 followers, and now I'm almost at 700.
Mm-hmm. And who are your biggest customers? Are they moms for like party favors? Are they people like you that needed therapy or,
Honestly, I do have some customers that are in therapy, and they find it like satisfying, like I said. But most of my customers are like moms that have like kids that are just kind of like, hey, I want somebody to play with. Yeah.
So talk to us about the prices, because obviously we're trying to drive people to buy some of your slime. How much does it cost, and what's the website where they can find your slime?
Okay, so like for this little guy here, I charge, if you're buying like one, I charge like $3. But if you do like a package, that's different. For this jar, this is a 6 ounce. That's $10. And then for the 8 ounce, it's $12. And then I have a 4 ounce as well. That's this size, and that's $5.
Awesome. And you have a discount, right? For people that are watching right now. What's the discount code?
The discount code is LIT 2020.
LIT 2020. All right. Well, Katie, thank you so much. I congratulate you for turning pain into profit, right? Because you felt pain, you found therapy in this slime, and now you're making a business out of it and helping other people as well. And I wish you much success on your journey. Thank you so much for being part of ENTREPRENEURFest.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Good luck. Let's all go to her website. What's your website real quick again?
Oh, so my website is gonna be up very soon, but they can find me on Instagram at Slime Gets Lit.
Slime Gets Lit. Awesome. All righty. Bye.
Bye.
And I'm so excited to have our next entrepreneur here, Andrea Barrera from Gracious Home. We just saw her being interviewed by Gabriela from ABC7, and she's here with us now live. Andrea, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
Good, good. You're in a beautiful setting. Where are you?
I'm actually at Balboa Park.
It's one of the biggest, most beautiful parks here in the Los Angeles and San Fernando Valley, right?
Yes, so I'm right by the lake. There's a lot of ducks. You might hear them in the background.
So that kind of goes kind of hand in hand with your company, because you're very based in environment and nature and all of that. So talk to us about what Gracious Home is and what do you sell?
So Gracious Home is an all-organic vegan CBD skincare brand, and I sell things from scrubs to face mists to moisturizers that are amazing for people that are struggling with acne, pigmentation, scarring. A lot of people don't know that CBD actually helps regenerate skin growth, so it's actually amazing for all types of skin.
Show us some of your products.
Of course, I'm going to start with one of my holy grail products. It's the Gracious Home Rose Tea Cream. So this cream is actually it's a moisturizer. It was formulated specifically as a moisturizer, but you can use this for any types of aches and pains. I also have scoliosis, so my back is constantly hurting, and this is one of my go-to creams. It doesn't have a strong like menthol or vapor like Vicks smell, so it's very discreet and subtle, and you don't have to kind of draw attention what you usually do with Tiger Balms or balms that are very concentrated with like peppermint and things like that. And so that's definitely one of my favorites. It's also amazing for any kind of scarring, any type of pigmentation or sun damage that you might have. Again, cannabis, especially CBD, is amazing at regenerating cell growth. So areas that you might think are kind of, I can't do anything with, this is the go-to for that. And then I also have products like the scrub. The scrub is a great exfoliator. It does amazing at removing dead skin cells. But aside from that, it's super concentrated with vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin C. So you're not just stripping your skin away, you're actually putting back and nourishing it, because a lot of the oils that get removed with scrubs are essential to our skin. And so we want to make sure we're not just taking away and sucking those out, but we're actually putting back into our skin all those vitamins that are essential to have glowing and healthy skin.
So do you make this? Did you hire a chemist? How do you make all of these beautiful products?
Initially with the first products, I contacted a lot of estheticians, a lot of cosmetic formulators, and I kind of described pretty much the product that I envisioned would be the best. So I wanted something that was vegan, something that wasn't heavy and just sitting on your face, but also something that was going to cure your acne, cure your whatever like eczema, rosacea that you might have without making your skin dependent on it. I was sick and tired of using products that dried my face out, temporarily healed my face, and then when I would stop using them, everything would come back. So I really wanted something that was as far away from that as possible. So something that was just natural and that was going to help your skin heal in a natural way without becoming dependent on it.
Awesome.
So
That is amazing.
you can shop using Latina15 to get 15% off the website.
Awesome. And tell us what your website is. Where can people find you?
You can find it at graciousome.com. And it's also available through different retailers, but shop through the website so that you're able to use that discount code.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. We wish you all the best. What a great story you have. And thank you so much for being part of ENTREPRENEURFest.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Hope you guys enjoy all.
Latina Entrepreneur Fest? This is my people. But seriously, ladies, I know this is a difficult time and it's very easy to feel alone. And even if we never meet, I just want you to know that I and lots of people like me wake up every morning rooting for you and grateful that you're still in